Hello and welcome in everybody over on YouTube. It is so good to see you today. We are going to go ahead and hop straight into the debates with the Trump supporters. We are already live over on TikTok with 7.7 thousand live viewers. And we have our first debater up of the day, Mr. Joe. Joe, tell us why'd you do it? Why'd you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump because I don't see benefits of a world, an intertwined world system, if that makes any sense.
Joe, unfortunately, that does not make any sense. Is there possibly another way that you'd be able to word that does make sense?
I'm just tired of America thinking that we're the bearers of world peace and that we're the bearers of uh, financing other countries that really don't appreciate our help most of the time.
Okay.
For example, like Sudan or countries that have warlords that will reap the benefits of these monetary gains and stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm like pretty okay with our government like spending some money, like a very small percentage of our money, like 0.2% of our like federal expenditure per year on like humanitarian needs across the globe. I mean, like this is seriously like saying, like, let's just imagine that you made $100,000 per year. Would you be okay with spending like $200 on charity that really helps people?
If I knew that it in fact did help those people and it wasn't being
Yeah,
abused
and
by
like we might even.
corrupt governments.
Okay, so now I've already convinced you that humanitarian aid is good, but let's just take it one step further. What if that like $200 out of your $100,000 per year salary really helped people, saved thousands of lives, possibly saved a country the right to exist? Would you feel
Um,
obligated to do it?
Again, if I knew for a fact that it was going to the right people, I know that you're going on the Palestine thing, and I believe that Palestine has a right to exist. I do. And I believe that Israel has the right to exist, and that it should be a two-state solution, and
Well,
that
I,
they
I
both should
wasn't.
have.
I wasn't even really talking about Palestine. The reason I wasn't talking about Palestine is because both of the candidates were pro-Israel. One was just more pro-Israel with another. I thought I was more in reference to like Russia and Ukraine. I thought that was going to be your big talking point.
Well, see, the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine, if you get into ethnic groups and stuff, Ukrainians are closer related to Russians than anything else.
Okay,
I,
that wait,
but
wait, and
like,
that justifies an invasion by a foreign country and ethnic
I'm not
cleansing of
saying
billions
it
of people.
justifies it. I'm not saying it justifies it, but
What context does that provide me? Why does the
but there
ethnicity of the
are
people
but
living in
there
Ukraine matter?
but there are parts of Ukraine that have voted to leave Ukraine, and
You're talking about
there is
militant. You're
proof.
talking about militant groups in some parts of Ukraine that
Are
claimed Ukrainian government property, such as like their embassies and government buildings, etc. How? What is this? What does this relate to our support of
are you
Ukraine at all, Joe?
familiar with a Are you familiar with a thing called Gray Zone News?
No, I'm not, and I also don't understand how this relates to why you voted for Trump.
Well, I'm about to get to it. Gray Zone News is more of a left-leaning, independent news network, and they have sent people to Ukraine, and you can find this on the internet. That they have interviewed actual Ukrainians, and there's a lot of them that do agree with the Russian invasion, and that there's a more than likely a psyop happening on the western part of the civilization.
Okay, yeah, I think that that is a complete conspiracy theory. I don't think that you'll be able to give me evidence for that. I would like you to try to give me evidence of that. Do I think you'll be able to? No. I think saying that there's just a psyop on Western civilization is like crazy, especially
But
when we consider like the proximity of a lot of like NATO countries to Ukraine, such as like Poland, etc. I think that's pretty crazy. I think if anything, the only psyop being ran on the American public right now is going to be committed by the hand of Russia. And we actually know that that's true. Like we have leaked Kremlin documents where Putin was like paying American influencers to shift the American focus to the thought that us supporting Ukraine is a bad thing. So if anything, like this is just a greater psyop being ran by the state of Russia, where we actually have their Kremlin documents to suggest that it's true. It's also important to point out here that if there is some people in Ukraine that support Russia's invasion, that doesn't justify the ethnic cleansing or death of Ukrainians.
I'm not saying it does, and I'm not. I never once claimed that. But what I'm saying is that I don't think it's America's job to get into the business of other people when Europe, right, like you just stated, is right beside Ukraine, right? What are they doing to step up to the plate?
The same thing we are. And now that we back down, the UK and France are considering literally deploying boots on the ground in Ukraine, which, if anything, is just going to further increase global tensions and the threat of a third world war. It's also important to point out here that, Democrat, thank you for the Night Star, that the U.S. intervening and funding Ukraine is A, because we have a contractual agreement with Ukraine from the 90s called the Budapest Memorandum, where we told them we defend them if they're invaded. And then B, because they're straight up getting ethnically cleansed. They're getting invaded. These fuckers are killing their people. They're displacing them. There's over 238,000 Ukrainian refugees in America today. We are merely protecting human rights and the state of Ukraine's right to self-determination and existence, man. Like, that is a very good reason to give them like $32 billion per year. I mean, that is such an insignificant amount of government expenditure for such a significant reason that I think contesting it is insane. Now, let me give you an analogy here. Now, I will admit that these scenarios aren't one-to-one and aren't completely comparable, but I would say they do fall into the same category. Do you think that it was good for America to go into the European front and take on Germany to try to end the Holocaust and stop those human rights violations, spending our money in the process?
Yeah, I do. I believe it was good to stop the Germans, but also at the same point, the Germans were putting submarines on our maritime
Yeah, served as
waters.
some threat to America. If Germany didn't serve as a threat to America and they were just straight up committing the Holocaust and just focusing on that in Europe, would you still have been okay with America's involvement?
Yeah, just like I mean, we sat on our tails during the Ugandan genocide too.
So, like, wait, before we move on and pivot, I just want you to make this recognition that you are okay with America interfering and trying to stop the Germany from committing the Holocaust, since there's a lot of human rights violations that occurred in the instance. Okay, it's once again not a one-to-one relation, but I would say that in a very similar note, that in us sending Ukraine $32 billion per year, we're just further funding and supporting them to stop human rights violations as committed by the the Russian Federation against Ukrainians. Not to mention, once again, the Budapest Memorandum we signed with them in the 90s, straight up contractually agreeing to support them if they were invaded.
And I agree. If we signed something, we should hold up to what we've said.
Great, so
But
then we
my
should be
point,
supporting Ukraine since we signed the Budapest Memorandum, am I right?
I mean, if we said we were going to do something, we need to back up our word.
All right, well, then I got you to
But
concede
I
there.
want
Do you have any other points insofar as why you voted for Trump?
to. Well, yeah, I voted for Trump, but I have one last point to add to the conversation we just had. Um, do you believe it's a human rights violations for the Ukrainian military to be driving around the streets of Ukraine, and this is confirmed videos of them pushing 16-year-old kids off their bikes so they can come and fight on the front lines against their own will? Do you believe that's a violation of their own human rights?
Synthetic, thank you so much for the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat. I do appreciate that. I do think that like forced servitude in a war is going to be bad. Not to mention, I hope you know that Russia's also doing this, and Russia's like straight up killing compromised North Korean troops, which I find to be significantly worse human rights violations, and they're doing it with more people. Not to mention that we don't even know if that's true, but I'd say that that gives us all the more reason to support Ukraine. They need all the support they could get. It's very obvious if they're forcing 16-year-olds to pick up a gun and fight that we should step in not only to protect the human rights of individuals in Ukraine and the state's right to exist, but also to prevent Ukraine from like exploiting 16-year-old little boys from going to fight for them. That just means that they're in dire need of
So,
support from a big country
so
like us, right?
right, and so what I believe should be done about all this is that America should do a very similar thing like we did with North Korea and South Korea, and install a DMZ between Ukraine and Russia.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen. You agreed that we should be supporting Ukraine. You made that concession. That was my point. That was the original argument. Do you have any other reasons why you voted for Trump?
Yes. Outside of, I agree that America should be a little bit more isolationist, not to the extreme that he wants it to be, but I do believe that we should be more isolationist
Okay. So you
because
just told me that you didn't agree with the extreme of his isolationist policy. So what's your favorite Trump policy that you do agree with?
the I'd probably have to say the border policy because I I know anecdotal evidence isn't always the best evidence, but I was screwed out of a job. I got I went to school for a certification, got the certification. A guy came in. He was a under a immigrant visa or whatever.
H-1B?
I don't know exactly what the classification was, but he was here and had only been at my job for 6 months and was going to the same school I did, and he got hired before I did. I'm older, I have more experience, and I'd been with the company longer.
Thank you so much for the donut. Okay, so he had more qualifications than you.
No, he did not have more qualifications.
Okay, so then why did he get hired?
More experience, and we went to the same school.
So if he wasn't better than you, then why did he get hired?
DEI.
DEI? Give me evidence.
Because I work for I'm not going to state where I live, but I work for a city's government parks system.
Yeah.
And they actually have quotas. I've spoken to HR about it, and they have a hiring quota.
Okay, show me them.
How am I supposed to show you?
Well, I mean, like, assuming that this is a public company, like, there should be, we should see their hiring practices on their website, right?
If you could shoot me a DM, I can send you all the hiring stuff that I've been given.
You can't, like, do it now?
You can
wait. I don't know.
I work for.
I'm likely to believe that according to a lot of people in the chat, like, that's illegal. And then, so I'm unlikely to believe that they do that if the chat is right, if it's illegal. I'm actually seeing a lot of people saying that that's illegal. And then B, I don't think it's okay to say that if somebody with a different skin color than you have gets a job over you, it's because of DEI. Like, I feel like it's just like a really fucking weak cop out. When in all reality, they were likely just more qualified than you are.
How? He had only worked in the qualified.
There's no way that you know his qualifications. What's his name?
I am a supervisor over him. I saw his application.
Shit, guess he was better with less. What can I say, man? Some people just have it naturally. So nothing you can do about it. I'm sure that you have other talents elsewhere.
But border policy and isolationism is kind of more so.
Bro, your response to this is to literally say, because this one immigrant was more talented than I am, fuck them all, shut the borders down, I can't have that happening. Wait, isn't that like literally DEI? You're saying that there's people that are more talented from other countries than you, and you're like so spiteful that a more talented migrant got a job over you, so that you're like,
can you prove
close the borders down?
How can you prove he's more talented if I'm offering to send you all of the stuff?
No, because you said it was because of hiring quotas, which are literally fucking illegal.
No, it's not.
According to a lot of individuals in the chat, they may be. And if you're going to give me evidence, I'd like you to give it to me on the live. Kevin, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I do really appreciate you for that love, Kevin. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. By the way, don't you realize the impacts that this will have on the economy? Like, you're literally saying that there's these talented, qualified migrants from other countries that are taking jobs and growing the American economy and paying taxes to make the American economy stronger, to bring back great prosperity to our great country. And you're like, ban them all, don't let them come in because they're taking my jobs, and now I'm resentful. Like, that is like putting America last. Undoubtedly putting America last because you want to forego talented workers, you want to forego qualified workers, you want to forego having more people.
I didn't say that. I said anecdotal evidence isn't always the best.
Okay, great. So then, what's your argument?
My argument is more so based on the fact of. Okay, let me figure out the way to word it the proper way, so I don't sound like I'm an idiot or something.
Okay.
Okay, my argument's more so based on I don't know how to word it without sounding stupid.
Just sound stupid. I'll paraphrase. You got it.
Well, I know that you put this on a public platform and people are going to see it more than just the people who are live.
Well, so if you don't want to say it, don't feel like you have to. But
let's transition to a different policy, though.
Okay.
I believe that Trump is actually better for America when it comes to healthcare. I believe that healthcare is better whenever it's privatized and it's not open to the general public. Like, I believe you being able to buy your own healthcare instead of like. I don't think free healthcare is good.
So I just want to make it so clear. Kamala Harris did not run on free public healthcare for everybody. The only difference between Kamala Harris's policy and Donald Trump's policy was that Kamala Harris at least wanted to limit the amount that any American citizen, Nelly, thank you for the dinosaur, could pay out of pocket for private pharmaceuticals to $2,000 per year. That was her only healthcare plan. Donald Trump had no healthcare plan. So, in other words, the difference between Trump and Kamala Harris as it related to healthcare policy was that Kamala Harris was just going to make people pay less. Also, like the $35 cap on insulin, I've heard Donald Trump has taken that away. So at the end of the day, the only difference is that Kamala Harris was going to make people pay less for the same product. And you're telling me that's bad?
Okay. Well, what is your experience with socialized healthcare? Because
Wait, this isn't even. Wait, the difference between the policy was not socialized versus private healthcare. The difference between the policy was Americans paying more for private healthcare, Americans paying less for private healthcare.
well, the reason why I bring this up because I experience as a veteran the VA healthcare system, and it's very socialized.
Oscar,
And
thank you so much for the $11.11 over on Venmo. Thank you so
and
much
the
for the love,
amount of
Oscar.
red
Everybody,
tape,
please show some love to Oscar down below in that chat.
the amount of red tape it takes to get basic health care for me as a veteran is wild. I get quicker health care by paying my own private insurance and going to a hospital rather than waiting for the VA to accept my issues.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure in functional socialized healthcare programs, such as what we'd see in a country such as Canada, they have quicker service and longer lifespans. But we don't even need to have a debate on socialized versus privatized healthcare because that wasn't the difference between the two policies and their healthcare related stances. Like seriously, it reduced down to Kamala Harris supporting people paying less for privatized healthcare and Donald Trump supporting people paying more for privatized healthcare.
And I mainly come up here because
Can you respond to that, please?
can I make one statement and then
No. I just want you to respond to what I'm saying, please. I
I just want
allowed
to
you to
say
make a
that
statement unrelated to my response
teach me a
already. I
lot,
just want you to finally respond to it.
I just want to say that you teach me a lot. And I come up here so I can learn and give you my opinions so you can rebut them so I can understand there may be another way. And I can't do that without being able to talk to you so I can express my opinions and the way that I feel things. And this kind of platform gives me that ability to.
Well, hey, Joe, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I appreciate you for being respectful. I'll try to be more respectful myself. But I would seriously, I would like you to try to respond to my argument there because I do think it was valuable. The only difference between the healthcare policy of the two candidates was that Kamala Harris wanted people to pay less for privatized healthcare. Meanwhile, Donald Trump wanted people to pay more.
I believe if you paying, I would pay a higher premium if I knew the healthcare would be at a higher quality.
Yeah, but the difference between the
If that makes
policies from the candidates had nothing to do with the quality of healthcare. Like seriously, Kamala Harris was just like, we're gonna fucking subsidize Americans paying for their healthcare, and we're gonna ensure that no Americans paying any more than $2,000 per year for private pharmaceuticals. Same private pharmaceutical companies, same privatized healthcare structures. The only difference was that she was gonna ensure that people were gonna pay less. That's all.
Okay. I guess I'll have to look into it a little bit more so I can understand it a little bit better.
Okay.
Um, but mainly though, the reason why I voted for Trump is because I want America first. Yes, I understand your point about immigrants coming here that might be more qualified and being able to improve our society. But what about the people that get left behind, the homeless people, the people with disabilities who may have those same qualities but aren't getting that same attention because we're allowing more people to add to our population, diluting the field.
Wait, sorry. I'm so sorry. Repeat your position there.
Okay, pretty much dilution is my positioning. Yes, I would welcome highly qualified people from other countries, but I want. Yeah, yes, like
Listen.
what I'm trying to say is.
Wait. So you're basically saying if we just like have immigration processes that let anybody come into our country, we're diluting, like the labor force, and we're making it less productive.
No, I'm not saying it's less productive. I just want the production to be more so the people
Wait,
that are
okay.
already here are
I
getting
thought
those.
that any productive provider was a good provider. I mean, I'm so sorry, man. Like undocumented migrants as a demographic, for instance, they pay over $100 billion per year in taxes, putting in more than they take out. And they're projected, all migrants in America right now are projected to add $1 trillion to our economy in the next 10 years. They're productive providers. What's the issue? Like you're saying that you want them to be productive providers to a higher level. Why?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I want like America first policies,
Well,
right?
I mean that immigration is an America First policy. It grows our economy. It increases like standard and average qualities of life.
And
It puts
I
more
agree
money
with that.
into government revenue, so our government can spend more on the
I'm not
people.
disagreeing with that.
Like immigration is such a pro-American position.
I'm not agreeing with.
So then, what's your position that you want to debate?
My position is okay. So we already have a pretty diverse country, and I love diversity, right? And I'm not anti-immigration at all. I am anti putting people who come here, right, and putting them first, and instead of our homeless veterans, our people with disabilities that
Putting them
might
first.
have the same capable.
What? Okay, one second. First of all, could you explain to me how America puts migrants first? America puts migrants last. I mean, like undocumented migrants, for instance, get fucking no government benefits outside of like a form of healthcare in the state of
But yet,
California
but
and
yet,
any and all emergency services in all 50 states. And they were completely used as a fucking scapegoat, and they were dehumanized by Donald Trump in the entirety of his campaign to like get prejudiced white people to vote for him. Like Donald Trump put migrants last. He said that they were eating the pets and dogs, the legal Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio. He said that they're illegal, even though they're legal and they're supposed to be here. Literally as a way to scare white people into voting for him. Literally putting them last just to get the vote of more prejudiced white people, as I've already pointed out. He calls undocumented migrants illegal aliens, just to like dehumanize them and scare people into voting for him because he's going to end the issue, even though there's not an issue to begin with, insofar as average qualities of life are them being productive providers to the economy. Just straight up lying about facts of immigration, where the real issue lies, never addressing the systemic root cause of undocumented migration, that being bad legal means of entry. Like, we put immigrants last.
I don't think that's necessarily a true statement there because in the New York Times came out with an article stating that there were I forget the exact number, is in the like 50,000 range. That the state of New York was actually funding immigrants to stay in 4 and 5 star hotels.
You're talking about asylum seekers. And I absolutely support that policy. That's great policy, yeah. I support this for multiple reasons. The first reason why I support this, ignoring ethics, ignoring morality, ignoring humanity, is the fact that these asylum seekers, when they eventually do get citizenship, do get residency, and spend another 5 or 10 years in America working, end up generating our government more money than what our government spends on them in their first 6 to 12 months of residency when they cannot go to work and while their asylum claim is processing. And then from a humanitarian lens, seriously, it's just a couple $1 billion. That is a very insignificant portion of government expenditure. Yet
Okay,
that insignificant portion of government expenditure is to keep asylum seekers fleeing political or social prosecution alive.
okay, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. What I am saying, and so I used to be married to an Egyptian asylum seeker. She's now currently a U.S. citizen and resident of our country now. But she was able to work within the first 3 weeks of being here because they gave her a little card. I forget what it was called exactly. It was an employment EIC card, I believe is what it's called. It's an EIC, employee identification card. She gets her own little social. Within 3 weeks, she was able to work.
Okay, and
What I'm saying is, if she was able to come here and she came from a war torn area,
like,
if she
what are you saying?
I'm saying that what's how can you justify spending all that money on asylum seekers, right?
Well, because
When
I fucking told you, because it ends up
they're-
producing our government more money than they spend.
I'm saying that they're capable of coming in working.
No, a lot of asylum seekers have to wait 6 to 12 months to even get an ITIN to work. I don't know the specific situation with your wife or whatever the case is, but regardless of the facts of how long it takes for individuals to be able to get proper documentation to go to work, it is still the case that as it exists today, our structures for asylum seekers serve as a like net positive to our government in the long term. Now, I agree that those claims should be processed quicker. Can you name one thing Donald Trump has ever done to reduce the amount of time that it takes to get asylum seekers the proper documentation to go to work?
Mhm.
No, nothing. Can you name one thing that Donald Trump has ever proposed to do to make the legal systems migration more efficient insofar as reducing undocumented migration in the long term?
I believe making it. I believe he did actually make it more efficient. I believe the fewer people you allow in, the quicker you can screen and vet them.
Oh my god. 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 Oh my god.
I'm not.
Hey.
I'm not. I'm not
Hey. Hey.
anti-immigration.
Hey. 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 Hey.
I want the
Hey.
state.
Hey. So there's a
I just want
there's a
more
restaurant
control.
there's a restaurant in my town, okay? Let's say that this restaurant is called Enzo's, okay? It's a pizza place. So Enzo's has a max capacity of 200 people every hour. If they drop
Right.
that max capacity to 50 people every hour, will they be able to serve more or less diners?
Let-
Okay, well, you're lagging now, so I do got to go to kick you, move on to the next guest. But the answer is less, meaning that the processes are less efficient. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, do you just kind of give us a minute? I'm pretty sure that Enzo's is a real restaurant in my area. They make really good pizza.
Make your girlfriend's pussy bleed
Joshua.
so hard. I'm gonna make your girlfriend's
Yeah, man. Trent,
nigga.
yeah, here's the deal. Like more of these Trump supporters are willing to come up here and talk about raping my girlfriend than they are debating me on politics. Like I just want to point that one out. Like that's reality. Isn't that crazy, you guys? Isn't it like so disgusting? Isn't it so insane? Like more like Trump supporters are willing to come up here and tell me that they want to grape my girlfriend than like debate me on politics. Yeah, like I just want you to know, like for all of, like the Trump supporters watching, like that's who you vote with. That is your voting block. It's so embarrassing, man. It's like Trump supporters know that inevitably there's no real defense of their worldview. That's why it's really hard for me to find a debate. Meanwhile, we have over 10,000 people watching, considering both TikTok and YouTube. It's so hard to find anybody to debate. We got to go through multiple guests, multiple trolls. We'll literally have more people come up here and threaten to grape my girlfriend than people come up here to debate. It's so insane. But yo, Joshua, thank you so much for the $25 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Joshua. I do really appreciate you for that love. Joshua says guests could never even name one policy that Trump admin put forward to help people, quote unquote, left behind because they don't exist. No, they don't at all. Thank you so much for the love, Joshua. Let's get at least 250 big W's for Joshua. Then also Jay with the $10 over on Venmo and Renee with the $25. Thank you, Renee and Jay. Everybody, please show some love to Renee and Jay. You guys are awesome. Then also Dixon, thank you so much for the $10 super chat over on YouTube. I do appreciate you for the love, Dixon. Everyone, please show some love to Dixon. And yo, Christian with a $20 super chat on YouTube saying you killed on MSNBC last night. Quite frankly, keep with the good work. Thank you for the love, Christian. Everybody, please show some love to Christian. Yeah, I think I did pretty good. It's really cool that you guys were watching that. I was really nervous, but I do think I did good. I do really appreciate you guys for the love. If you're watching and you want to support, you could support through Venmo and PayPal over on the link in the bio on TikTok or through the pin message on YouTube. Of course, you also have super chat. One last read off here before we start talking to our next guest, 85. I'd really like to thank Winnie for the $50 super chat on YouTube. Dude, Winnie, dude, that's crazy. Thank you so much for the love, Winnie. Winnie says, hey, Dean, I was so proud of you to see you on MSNBC last evening. Your interview was slamming. I've been watching you since you were on the right plight, and I can't be happier to see you be the pin to burst a balloon. Congratulations. Well, thank you so much for the kind message as well as the $50 donation. I want to see 500 W's for Winnie and all of the live chats. Thank you so much, Winnie. And what is up, 85? Did you vote for Trump?
Jesus loves you.
All right, it's a fetus. Moving on, guys. If you're MAGA and you want to come up and debate, go ahead and throw a MAGA down below in that chat and we'll get you pulled up here for a conversation. We are just looking for the next contender at this time. In these transitionary periods, typically a lot of people will leave. Let's keep that viewership up by double tapping on that phone screen. We have 8.5 thousand people watching right now. That is so many people that can be double tapping away on that TikTok phone screen right now, as well as if you're watching over on YouTube, make sure to drop a like if you haven't done it already. It really helps the stream. Ken, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo. It's a good day. It is a good day, Ken, and I do appreciate you for the $15. That's very kind. W's for Ken. While we're getting that next guest up, continue to spam MAGA in that chat. We'll get you up here for a debate. Still just looking for that next guest. Everyone, do just kind of give us a moment here. Everyone, just do kind of give us a moment here, y'all. All right. What's up, Viper? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
19.
19. What year were you born in?
2006.
2006. I'm sensing that you may be British. What time is it?
I was born in the UK, but parents are American.
All right. So what time is it?
It is currently 6:39.
All right. Well, there's not an American time zone where it's 6:39. What's up, T Rally? Did you vote for Trump?
Kamala is watching.
I have literally no clue what you just said. Did you vote for Trump? Okay, they just left. Moving on to the next guest, Kai. Here we go, everyone. Do just kind of give us a moment here, y'all. We're just still looking for that next guest. It is really hard for us to find a Trump supporter to debate because, you know, they know their views are indefensible. So if you're watching and you are a Trump supporter that's not scared to come up here and debate, you know, drop a mag in that chat. I'll invite you up here. Isaac, I got you with an invite. Rob, I got you with an invite. I'm inviting all of these people that are spamming MAGA down below in that chat, and none of them will accept it because they're so scared, quite frankly. They're all so scared. Everyone is terrified of coming up here and having a conversation. By the way, I'm just totally rage baiting to get people to join.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? How do you?
So I definitely voted for Trump, and I just wanted to throw a key point, and it's not. It doesn't even have anything to do with the prove me wrong. Trump is terrible for America. But the point is, the people that voted for Trump is because we wanted everything to happen that's happening to happen. Like, we didn't vote for Trump and be like, oh, Trump's not going to break any laws. Like, everybody that voted, we knew that he wasn't going to follow the Constitution.
Yeah.
We didn't care.
Yeah, I have a feeling
So
that you're
that's
gonna
the
leave.
point. We wanted change so bad that we didn't give a crap what the cost was.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you're gonna leave before I could rebuttal your view, right?
Oh, no, you can.
You're gonna stay up here
Absolutely.
for a conversation?
Yeah, sure.
Why
I
do you
mean,
do that to yourself?
I know. I don't know.
Why? Like, no, seriously. Why would you do that to yourself? Like, you're literally telling me that. Oh, yeah, you want a constitutional crisis. You want something that stands in opposition to what American values have been since the conception of our country. You want a criminal. You want a violent offender. So then, how about you stop fucking virtue signaling about caring about those things as it would apply to individuals outside of Trump? Because it is y'all that have been saying, screaming at the top of your lungs, back the blue, support law and order, but then you say that you want the criminal, you want the felon, you want the person that's going to pardon violent January 6 rioters that drove stun guns into the necks of cops on January 6. I understand that you're on this live saying that those are things that you wanted, so then stop fucking acting like you don't want them as it would apply to migrants. Stop acting like you don't want them as it would apply to women. Stop acting like you don't want them as it would apply to literally any fucking demographic outside of really rich and really orange old white guys.
Oh, no, I actually agree with you. That's the problem. Like, it's contradictory. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that the Democrats are wrong, or I'm not saying that your point of view is wrong at all whatsoever. I'm just saying that we knew what we voted for. So, like, even for you to sit there and argue with half the people that voted for Trump, it's pointless because they know what they voted for too, and they don't care. Not trying to say that, you know, what you're saying isn't important and doesn't matter, but what I am saying is that to most of those people, what you are trying to say and preach, it won't matter. Same as vice versa.
Oh, I have a feeling like you didn't actually vote for Trump.
I really did.
Okay, so you're just like fucking evil?
No,
Do you like self-label as a Grinch?
No.
So you're just telling me that you voted for a bunch of bad things and you don't care and you acknowledge that it's contradictory. Tell me why you're a valuable individual in the voter base.
I was in the military. That's about it. That's all I'm good for. So I served. That's about it.
What did you serve for?
31 kilo military working dog handler in the Army.
No, I know. Like, why did you want to serve?
Well, originally when I had went in, it was because I wanted to fast track my career in criminal justice, and then I found out that the government pretty much just does whatever they want with you, and you are their property once you join. So that career.
Wait, when you entered into the military, didn't you take an oath to protect the Constitution?
I absolutely did.
Did you break that oath by voting for Trump via your own self-admission that he has violated the Constitution and you don't care?
Well, I was out by then.
Would you say that if you were still in the military, you would have... Well, you violated an oath that you had taken before.
Yeah, that would be correct. Yep, sure.
Did you self-label as an attention seeker?
Absolutely not, no.
I really just think you're on this live to get attention, so I'm going to move on. Everyone just give us a minute. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's... like, she must have just been, like, rage baiting. We're going to move on. Everyone just give us a minute. Yo! Oh, my God! Yo!
That was an accident.
No worries, Jamie.
That was an
Don't worry
accident.
about it. Don't worry about it, Jamie. No worries. We're going to go to get that next guy up in here, but holy shit. Oh my God. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just going to call you Sky. Sky, there we go. Sky, thank you for the $100 donation on Venmo. Holy shit, Sky. That is crazy. I want to see 1,000 W Skies in all of the live chats. That is so much fucking money. Dude, that's crazy. Thank you so much for the love. You know, I will always read every single donation, especially this amount. Sky says, love what you do and how you educate people of all ages. Keep up the good fight. Sky, you are a blessing. I love you so much. It is so kind of you. Thank you so much for the kind message and for the $100 donation on Venmo. Everybody show some love to this guy right now. That is so incredibly kind. That is so incredibly genuous. That is so incredibly generous. Thank you. W's to this guy in the live chats. What is up, buses? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
All right, real quick. What time is it?
Where? In Florida.
Well, wherever you live, I could clock that British accent from a mile away, sir.
Can you fat nigga? How dumb you fucking fat pussies get.
All right, well, their at is Buses for Life 1970. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. We got Jonah loading up in the box. Here we go. Hello, Jonah. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't mean to request. I'm sorry.
No worries at all, Jonah. We're going to move on to that next guest. We got Trump_White House loading into that live. Here we go. Yo, hello. Thank you for the $5 of Venmo. That's very kind. What's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Absolutely, I did.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why did you make such a bad decision?
Well, how do you consider love of country and a man that's going to save this country as a bad decision?
Because I don't think he loves the country, nor do I think he's going to save the country.
Oh, is that why he's putting dictators in their place and putting America First policy in the forefront?
Yeah, I'm guessing the dictator that he's putting in his place is Zelensky, right?
Yeah, I mean, Zelensky is negotiating in bad faith, is he not, to remain in power?
I want to ask you a question. Is Putin a dictator?
Is Putin a dictator? No, he's an authoritarian.
So then why is Zelensky a dictator?
Again, like I said, Zelensky is actively negotiating in bad faith to
No,
remain
I'm
in
asking you why
power.
he's a dictator.
Because he's seeking to remain in power by negotiating in bad faith and extending the war.
Okay, doing things in bad faith to stay in power makes you a dictator. I think that Putin has done things in bad faith to stay in power, like literally killing his political opponents. Does that mean, under your view, he's a dictator too?
Can you link direct evidence to Putin unaliving his political opponents?
Yeah, probably.
Or is that just hearsay? Or is that, well, probably, but no factual evidence?
No, I bet there's evidence out there somewhere. You just got to trust me, bro.
But you don't have it.
No, I do.
But you don't have
I
it.
do just have it. You just got to trust me, bro. Come on.
You just claim trust me, bro.
No,
Yeah,
dude. You
okay.
seriously just have to trust me, bro. I'm the standard.
Well,
of
let's
truth.
look
Come
at this timeline. Let's look at this timeline.
on. I have a
right?
question. Do you think that Russia had a right to invade Ukraine?
Considering that Ukraine violated the Budapest Memorandum, absolutely.
Okay. So you don't respect human rights, so I don't respect your right to speak.
Oh, is that? Oh, because you.
Like, so I could just do
So,
that. Like,
do you want to engage in microaggression?
Well, I just have like the right to take away your right to
Do
speak.
you want to engage in actual conversation
I'm just gonna like violate your right to speak a couple more times, then we can.
like a child?
Just give me a minute here. Just want to fuck with the Russian shill. Yeah, man. Hey, I have a question. Is ethnic cleansing always wrong?
It depends.
So it's not always wrong.
In regards to, because your definition and my definition are going to be totally different.
Okay, cool, sure. Let's try to define the term ethnic cleansing. I define the term ethnic cleansing as the full expulsion or removal of an unwanted ethnic group or religious group from a society to elsewhere. Is that always wrong?
It depends on who it is.
So it's not always
Like I
wrong.
would consider. So is
Got
the
it.
Taliban? Is the Taliban like ethnically cleansing?
Is it always wrong or is it not always wrong? Quite frankly,
Is ethnically cleansing the Taliban wrong in your opinion?
is the Taliban an ethnic group?
They have their own religious beliefs.
Religious
they
beliefs?
not?
Sure. I think I'd redefine ethnic cleansing to specifically be just of an unwanted ethnicity. But
Oh,
like,
an
I don't know. if
ethnicity?
they
Yeah,
have
that
a-
is wrong.
Okay.
An ethnicity is wrong.
Okay, sure. So it's like ethnic cleansing insofar as a forceful expulsion of an unwanted ethnic group is always wrong, right?
Yeah, sure.
Great.
Show me a group where that's happening to.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we could just ignore all of the casualties and deaths of Ukrainians in Ukraine at the hands of Russian
And
troops.
Russians.
One moment.
And Russians.
One moment. At the hands of Russian troops. There is currently 238,000 Ukrainian refugees in America right now that were forcefully expelled by their homes because of Russian advancements on Ukrainian soil. Does this mean that Russia is committing an ethnic
Due
cleansing
to
that you
Ukraine
determine is wrong?
violating the Budapest Memorandum.
Okay. I mean, you're positing a reason for something you think is always wrong. So does that change the fact that you condemn Russia for ethnically cleansing Ukraine?
Well, again, you think it's ethnically cleansing, but Russia is defending its homeland.
Wait, can we agree that Russia has forcefully expelled Ukrainians off Ukrainian soil?
Due to Ukraine, it's
See
Ukraine's
what I mean?
fault that their
Yeah, see what I
citizens
mean?
are willing
Yeah,
to leave.
You're repositing a reason for ethnic cleansing. Do we agree that you think ethnic cleansing is always wrong?
Well, I don't think what's happening in Ukraine is ethnically cleansing.
No, you just agreed that it's ethnic cleansing because you conceded that they're forcefully expelling unwanted Ukrainians off of Ukrainian soil, but then you just
No, that
posited
was
the
your
reason
opinion.
why.
I agreed that that was the definition, but I don't agree that that's what's happening in Ukraine.
Okay, so then why are there 238,000 Ukrainian refugees in America right now?
Why are they? Why are there hundreds of thousands of Afghani refugees in the United States?
I'll answer your question after you answer mine.
No, because it's the same thing.
Okay,
It's the
so
same
you're just
thing,
saying that you have an
Dean.
answer, right? So tell me what the answer is. Why is there 238,000 Ukrainian refugees in America right now?
Because the leaders of that country, like Afghanistan, were weak, frail, and put their country into due harm.
Okay, so how did Zelensky cause there to be 238,000 Ukrainian refugees in America right now? Did Zelensky kick them out?
In his actions, yeah, he kind of did.
Okay,
He
so
forced his
so what
citizens to
action?
leave,
So what action did Zelensky engage in that kicked 238 Ukrainians out of Ukraine?
violating the Budapest Memorandum in 2008,
Okay,
2006,
so
and
so
2014
be more
and
specific
2021.
about what the violation was and how that caused the forceful expulsion
Yeah,
of
so would you
238,000
agree?
Ukrainians from Ukraine to
So
America.
would you agree that the Budapest Memorandum led to denuclearizing Ukraine?
I was supposed to lead to denuclearization.
Okay. And would you agree that NATO has a policy called the Nuke Sharing Agreement?
I'm unaware of NATO terms. I want you to answer my question, and then we can talk
Yeah.
about that. All that I want to
So
know is what Zelensky
so
did to
every
ethnically
single
cleanse
time,
238,000
yeah.
Ukrainians
So
off of
every
Ukrainian
single
soil to
time,
America.
yeah, Dean. So every single time that Zelensky and Ukrainian leaders actively solicited NATO membership, that was a direct violation of the Budapest Memorandum due to the nuke sharing agreement that NATO has.
Okay, that's awesome, and I don't mind responding to that after you answer my question. I just want you to tell me
Well,
how
because you don't
Zelensky
have an
ethnically
answer to
cleansed
it, Dean.
238,000
It's
Ukrainians
because you
to
don't have an
American
answer
soil.
to it, Dean.
I don't mind
Just
giving you a
admit you don't
response
have an
after.
answer.
I will happily give you an answer after you give me a response to my question. I'm just unwilling to
He's
allow you to
not
pivot.
ethnically him in his active solicitation of NATO membership and his active involvement in pursuing and promoting this war to go on and on and on, he forced his people to leave their country because he put his own country in harm to remain in power, Dean.
Okay, so how did he
That's
put those people in harm
self-evident
to get
in the
ethnically
last.
cleansed? I'm not even asking you
Yeah,
to.
so let's
I'm
look.
not even asking you to shit on Zelensky. You could shit on Zelensky all you fucking want, and I will address
calm.
that after you answer my question. All I want you to explain to me is how 238 Ukrainians went from being in Ukraine to being in America. Okay? You are not directly answering the question. You're just taking this time to posit that Zelensky has infringed upon the Budapest Memorandum, that Zelensky has, put his country in great harm. I understand that you don't like Zelensky. I just want you to answer my question by explaining to me how 238,000 Ukrainian refugees got from Ukraine to America. I will also fucking state, okay, I will also make it so incredibly clear because you think that I'm pivoting by not responding to what you're saying. In all reality, I just want you to give me a response. Okay? I know nothing about provisions under NATO insofar as sharing nukes, but what I do know is that Ukraine hasn't fucking joined NATO, so there is no violation of the Budapest Memorandum, bud. Jesus
So
fucking
would you
Christ.
not agree
The
that they
furthest
received?
reach of an argument that you could ever want is that they almost violated it. Jesus Christ. But you know who
Did Ukraine
actually
not?
did violate it? Russia! Woo! But going back to my
Did you?
question that I want you to answer, I'm going to make it incredibly clear. I want you to answer my question. I have been so kind to you. I've gone so far out of my way to engage in your pivot and answer what you've said. Now I want you to answer what I've said. How did 238 Ukrainians go from living and existing in their homes on Ukrainian soil to living and existing on American soil? Tell me how they got from Ukraine to America. That is the question I want you to answer.
Yeah, because there's something called a war. It's a three-letter word called a war between Russia and Ukraine that
Okay,
Ukraine started,
great. So I
Dean.
just want to clarify that you did just affirm that Russia's invasion of Ukraine led to those Ukrainians being displaced to America. Now, we could obviously both agree with the use of common sense that Ukrainian troops didn't displace them from their homes. Russian troops displaced them from their homes. So now we can agree that Russian troops, under the orders of the Russian Federation, forcefully displaced, at minimum, 238 Ukrainians from their homes in Russia to America, meaning that you do think that Russian troops, under the order of the Russian Federation, did ethnically cleanse those Ukrainians.
Would you not agree that every event has a cause and effect?
I would agree that the cause of Russia invading Ukraine had
Is
the
Ukraine
effect of
violating the
Ukraine's-
Budapest Memorandum?
had Ukraine's being displaced to America, and I want you to either concede or tell me where I went wrong. I understand there's other things that you want to talk about, such as Ukraine's violations of the Budapest Memorandum, and I don't mind giving you as much time as you'd like to address those points after you address mine. Seriously, man, after you address my point that Russia ethnically cleansed Ukrainians in accordance with your own logic, I will allow you to address violations of the Budapest Memorandum by the state of Ukraine. That's fine. That's dandy. That's
We're
sweet.
not again.
But I want you to
We're not
first
going to
address my
agree
point
with
that
that.
Putin
We're not
ethnically
going to agree
cleansed
with that,
Ukrainians.
Dean.
Okay.
We are not going to agree with that
Then,
because
then tell me what
you
necessary
cannot
property.
tie.
Tell me what necessary property of ethnic cleansing, insofar as the definition that we both agreed on, the Russian troops that displaced at least 238,000 Ukrainian refugees from Ukraine to America, does not fulfill.
The person that started the war is the ethnic cleanser, right?
You're not.
So
You're wait.
we've-
You're not telling me
we've
which
agreed
criteria of
that
ethnic cleansing they haven't
Ukraine-
fulfilled.
Ukraine
Ukraine has nothing to do with this.
is the
Tell me what
reason this
criteria.
war started.
Ukra-
Ukraine is the
bro.
reason this war started.
Back on mute. You think that your Russian propaganda is a response to my question, but it's not. Even if Ukraine caused a war, you're still not telling me what criteria of Russia's invasion of Ukraine does not fulfill the definition of ethnic cleansing. Now, I would like to say that you were incredibly fucking wrong. No, Ukraine did not start Russia's invasion of their sovereign territory, but I want you to answer my question. We agreed that the Russian troops kicked at least 238 Ukrainian refugees out of their homes to be displaced
That's
to
what
America.
you inferred. That's what you inferred.
Okay,
That's
who-
not factual information.
So who
Dean.
kicked them out? Russian troops or Ukrainian troops?
Ukrainian.
So Ukrainian troops kicked
Actively-
238,000 people out of their homes.
promoting
Give me a
war.
source.
Actively promoting
Give me a source.
war,
Give me a
Dean.
source that Ukrainian troops forcefully expelled these Ukrainian citizens from their homes to America.
Who started the war?
No,
Who
that's
started the war?
no. Stop pivoting.
Who started
You
the war,
said
Dean?
that the Ukrainian troops kicked them out of their homes. Give me a source, please.
Dean, who started the war?
You're not answering my question. If I unmute you and you say who started the war, I'm going to kick you. You said that Ukrainian troops kicked at least 238,000
Because you
Ukrainian
don't want-
citizens out of Ukraine to America.
You wanna
Give me a
spread
source
you-
for what you're saying.
You want to spread Ukrainian propaganda?
No, you're spreading Russian propaganda because you just said that Ukrainian troops kicked them out and you can't give me any evidence. Come on, bro. Where's the evidence?
Who's the leader of Ukraine?
You're not giving me evidence, Zelensky. Give me evidence that that Ukrainian
Who
troops.
started the?
Give me no. That's not fucking relevant. I already told you that if you said that again, I'd kick you. So I'm gonna
It's
go ahead and give you
relevant,
3
Dean.
strikes on my hands. You said that Ukrainian troops forcefully displaced 238,000 Ukrainian
By
citizens from
actively
their
promoting
homes
this war.
in Ukraine to America. I want you to give me a source that
By
those
act-
troops went into their homes and kicked them out.
By actively promoting and extending this war, Ukraine is at fault for the displacement of their citizens.
Okay, so who are the troops that
It's
displaced
simple.
them?
The Ukrainian government displaced their own citizens.
Okay, give me a
Dean.
source.
By who started the war?
Bro, I just want a source that there's Ukrainian
started the
boots
war, Dean?
on the ground
started
kicking
the
those
war?
people out. Once again, a completely other conversation that I want to have next. I just want to know which troops from what country
Answer the
kicked
question,
the
Dean.
citizens out. I'm not going to answer your
Dean,
question
answer-
after you answer mine. Russia fucking started the war that is completely irrelevant to which country's troops kicked those 238,000 Ukrainians out of their houses. Either answer
Russia
the question,
defending their
tell me-
homeland is starting the war to you, Dean?
Tell me what troops kicked those Ukrainians out of their homes. Which were they Russian troops or were they Ukrainian troops that went in and kicked 238,000 Ukrainians out of their homes to be displaced in America?
Can you tie every single displaced Ukrainian to Russian troops? Can you do that, Dean?
Answer my question, please. Or I'm gonna kick you.
All 238,000
I'm gonna
you can
I'm
tie
gonna
to
either have
Russian
you.
troops.
I'm gonna either have
Is
you
that what
answer my
you're saying,
question. I'm gonna
Dean?
kick you. You're not gonna answer my question with a question. Stop being
Well,
such
you're
a little
spreading-
fucking Russian shill and answer the question.
You're spreading Ukraine propaganda.
How is asking a question Ukraine propaganda? Are you saying that you're on the side
Because
where questioning the quote
You're
unquote
trying to
truth
tie two,
is bad? Seemingly, you're on the side
you're
of a
trying to
fascist
tie
dictator.
200.
No statement. I
You're
want to
trying to
answer.
tie.
Which troops kicked them out of their homes? If I don't get a response in the next
Parker
30
couldn't
seconds,
even-
you're gone.
Parker couldn't even answer this, and I knew you.
Great. I'm just gonna wait for a response. Here we go. Everyone, just give us a minute. See, this is the problem with like the Russian bots. They can't answer questions. I want everybody to laugh at this guy if he doesn't answer the question in the next 20
You're
seconds.
the
before
one
we
not-
kick him. No, you're the one not answering the question.
Dean, answer
The
the
question was,
question.
what troops from what country displaced 238,000 Ukrainian citizens from their homes to America?
It's not the troops. It's the government, Dean.
Okay.
The
so-
government.
but the government would use Olivia force to displace their citizens, which would be the military. You fucking idiot. Come on. You should know better. The government
These
can just,
people
whoa,
left-
whoa. The government can just wave a magical fucking
They
wand and say that, oh, you
they
guys are
left
going
by
to
their
disappear
own-
now. Jesus Christ. Now give me a source. You said the Ukrainian...
Their own self-will.
Okay, give me a source.
The source that the Ukrainian government started a war, and then their people had to
Once
leave,
again,
so they
like
wouldn't.
your claim that they started a war isn't a source. I
So
actually
they
want
would.
like an article that demonstrate that 238,000 people left in accordance with their own self-will to come to America and claim a status as refugee, which once again, a refugee status would be because they're facing political or social persecution at home, meaning that they did not leave under
See,
their
that's,
will, but rather under duress or
you have
force.
the
So I'm
you
gonna go ahead and ask you for a
you
source, so I'm just gonna kick you.
you have the mute button. That's it, Dean, and
I
it
love it.
shows.
Yeah,
You're
I love it
embarrassing.
just because I'm holding you to I'm holding your hand to the fire, having you
Yeah,
answer a
you're
question.
embarrassing.
No, I'm not. I'm embarrassing you. I'm
You're
not embarrassing
embarrassed.
myself. Well, so once again, I'm going to give you one last opportunity here. I do want to make it incredibly clear that if you don't answer my question, by the time I unmute you, I'm just going to go and kick you, move on. We don't talk to Russian shills here. So once
Stop.
again, the question that I'm asking you, shut up, baby. Once again, the question is, troops from what country displaced the 238,000 refugees that came from Ukraine to America? You claim that they left on their own accord. We know that that claim is false, as refugee status in America would require threat of duress, force, or persecution, rather politically or socially.
It was the
So in order for them to be
Ukrainian
claiming,
government.
great, Ukrainian government, give me a source. That's the question.
The source is that the Ukrainian government started the war,
Oh,
Dean.
that's not a source, man. That's a claim. Come on, bro. Last chance.
Yeah, we can look at NATO and see every time they solicit.
All right. Well, you didn't give me a source, so we're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. Boom. Everybody, just give us a minute. Here we go, everyone. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. So here's the deal. It is so hard to deal with the children, but we do it anyways because I love you guys. What is new? Thank you for the fireworks. Janet, thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Janet. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Janet. Everybody, please show some love to Janet down below in that comment section, literally right now. Thank you so much, Janet. That is literally so kind of you. At least 500 W Janets down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the love, Janet. That is so incredibly kind. Huge W's to Janet. That is so kind of you. Thank you. And it's good to see you again today. Diva Janet is in the house. Hey, what's going on? How old are you?
I'm sorry?
Well, you're over 18. Did you vote for Trump?
Me? No. God, no.
Hey, bro, W do carry. We are just looking to debate individuals that did. Moving on to the next guest, quite frankly. I'm really glad that we could just all agree that that guy was a Russian shill. I'm seeing like no pushback in the chat. You guys are awesome. The one time where America comes together is in the face of Russian shills. What's up, Mad Dog? Did you vote for Trump?
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no and move on to Duke. Everyone, just give us a minute. America can come together to combat the Russian propagandists. That is great. What is up, Duke? Did you vote for Trump?
Yo, I'm beating my shit, yo. Fucking nigger.
All right, let's see what Duke's ad is. Duke eats poopy. Yeah, the name checks out. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest, Logan. We got him loading up here. Everyone, just give us a minute. For the 10,000 people in here, we have a troop of 10,000 people. If you guys started double tapping away on that phone screen right now, we could be at 1 million likes in literally fucking no time. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the love, you guys. We just got 2 million likes. That's great. Let's try to get to 2. We're going to move on to the next guest right now. We got Trippy Dip loading up into the live. Here we go, you guys. We got Charlie loading in now,
Hello.
too. What's going on, Trippy? Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
You did. Okay, one moment. Charlie, did you vote for Trump? Okay, Charlie's not here. So Trippy Dip, why did you do it? Okay, well, I accidentally kicked Trippy Dip, even though he was the only person that loaded up that was willing to have a conversation. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Logan, I got you loading back in. Elizabeth, thank you for the $5 super chat over on YouTube. That's very kind. Still looking for the next debate, guys. It is very, very hard to find a guest to connect. Hello, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
You did. Why did you vote for the worst president of your lifetime, man? Let's talk about it.
I voted for Donald Trump because I believed all the propaganda in 2020. I wanted Biden to win. He was fucking horrible. His whole family are fucking criminals. But let me know what Trump was charged with again. The 34 conviction felonies.
Oh, I have no clue. Just kidding. I do. Yeah, it was falsification of business records in the second degree, which is a classy felony in the state of New York. Committing falsification of business records with an intent to conceal a second crime.
And who else has been charged with that? Ever?
Why would I know that?
I'm asking.
I'm not from New York. I'm from Colorado. I don't keep up with New York.
Well, I can help you out. It's because they changed it from a misdemeanor to a felony.
Okay. So it's always been a classy felony in the state of New York. If you'd like to instantiate that they changed that prior to conviction, please give me your source.
Give you my source of that.
I mean, like,
just changed the law. Letitia James literally change the law from a class A misdemeanor to a class C felony.
Yeah,
just
I
so they
mean,
can call
changing
it felony.
law would take like some type of Senate approval in a state. So, I mean, do you have like the name of the bill in which codified the law to change it from a misdemeanor to a felony?
I do not have the name of the bill.
Great, because they
Yeah.
didn't change from anything. You're just confused on facts. So
I'm
here's
not
what
at all.
it is. Here's what actually happened. I'll clear the air for you. So
For sure.
business like fraud, insofar as the falsification of business records, that on its own is a misdemeanor. But it has always been a felony if you commit business like the falsification of business records with an intent to conceal another crime. And that is what Donald Trump was convicted of. It is a classy felony in the state of New York. The law did not change before his prosecution. If it did change, you'd be able to give me an order or an approval from the New York
What
State
was the
Senate, which never
crime?
happened.
What was the crime that he was hiding to do
I think
the
they,
falsification of business? Like, what was the secondary crime he was hiding in?
yeah, I think that they gave the jury like 3 options, and I like believe that they agreed on like trying to like election interference, trying to change the outcome of an
Like
election.
throwing
I
shit
don't
at the
know.
wall, hoping something sticks.
Yeah, throwing shit at the wall, hoping something sticks, because Donald Trump has just broken so many laws, quite frankly.
What about Joe Biden's whole crime family? What do you think about that?
I'm so sorry. Is Joe Biden convicted of any crime like Trump?
His entire
No.
crime family. You
Wa-
know,
was
all
Joe
of
was
them
Joe
that-
was Joe Biden held civilly liable for
Finish
grape like
speaking.
Trump? No.
Bro, I'm letting you talk. Can I finish speaking when I start
The
talking?
only crime family is Trump, sir.
Why did Biden's whole family get pardons before they even
yeah.
convicted?
I don't know. Maybe it's because Donald Trump spent the last 8 years saying that the moment he regained the presidency, he'd politically persecute them.
And what happened to Donald Trump
Would,
as soon
would
as
you
he was
would
out
you
of
would you
office?
fucking lock your door at night if somebody said that they're gonna rob you while you were sleeping?
I lock my door anyway because that's the smart thing to do. It's
Yeah,
preventative
but
maintenance.
especially under threat or duress of somebody of an individual coming into your house to steal your shit. So like, yeah, when Donald Trump spends 8 years saying that he was going to politically prosecute Biden and his family, of course he's going to fucking preemptively pardon them, so he can't even try. But I do want to ask you here, because Biden didn't run for president, Kamala Harris did. Why was Donald Trump a better presidential candidate?
Actually,
compared to Kamala
Biden
Harris?
did run for president. His party, y'all party kicked him out.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We could address that secondly. I just want to know why you think that Donald Trump was a better presidential candidate compared to Harris.
Harris is fucking horrible. Look what she did to California. It's a piece of shit.
Okay, like what?
Look what she did to Gotham City, aka California.
So San Francisco. I mean, well, Donald Trump did say that San Francisco was great while she was DA. So what's one bad thing that she did?
If you want to talk about all the black people she locked up, if you want to talk about all the time she flip-flopped on all of her policies, just like Gavin Newsom's currently doing, it depends on what exactly you want to talk about. What,
Hey, you want to know something that's absolutely
what's
so
one of her
fucking hilarious?
accomplishments? Name me accomplishment,
Yeah,
please.
sure.
Just one from her.
I'll name a bunch of Harris accomplishments after I respond to what you just said. I hope that's okay. So
Yeah,
first of
that's
all,
fine. Go ahead.
so you just said that she locked up a bunch of black people. Did you know that while she was DA of San Fran, that they didn't even fucking report race stats on individuals that were incarcerated? Like, Jesus Christ. So it's just so annoying when you say that. But the individuals that she signed off on locking up
That's false.
were 45 convictions that were disproportionately of the dispersion of the MDRUG. And then additionally, if you think that it is wrong to lock people up for using or dispersing the MDRUG, you would never vote for a Republican in your fucking life, because the only reason the use of the MDRUG is still federally illegal is because of Republicans. Kamala Harris in 2014 said that it's time to end the war on drugs, and in 2018 in the Senate she co-signed on a bill to do exactly that and to federally legalize the use of the M drug, and the only reason that was never codified and passed through Congress and signed into law was because of who? The Republicans!
My turn.
Got it.
Everything you just said was false.
Wow.
Secondly,
Wait,
is it also false that she was
What?
locking up black parents because their kids couldn't report to school?
yeah, I know that her office signed off on putting like one parent in jail because their kid was truant and not going to school until they figured out that the kid was in the hospital, which the parent was let out. I do not know the race of the parent.
This summer, did she also not say that she wanted to give black people their reparations?
I think that she said that she'd consider it, and it's worth looking into.
And why would that be a good idea?
Well, I mean, I think that it is a good idea to consider and look into policy that could benefit individuals.
And I am a black
disparaged and disproportionately,
American myself.
like persecuted, politically, socially, and socioeconomically since the dawn of our country, right? Well, dude, even like any rational mind, even those on the right could say, like, oh, it is at least worth critically examining the efficacy of reparations as it would relate to over 200 years of systemic racism as applied to black individuals in our country. Can you just say like critically examining that is a good idea?
I'm a black Hispanic American.
Okay.
And no, I do not think that's a good idea at all.
Wait, so you're anti-intellectualist. If you're saying that we shouldn't critically examine issues, like what the fuck are you saying? Are you saying that we should like we shouldn't wait, you'd only know that it's a bad idea through what? Through critical examination.
It's already been talked about for hundreds of years, or over 100 years at this point.
Okay, why are reparations bad? Wait! Actually, before we even get there, I'm so sorry. I don't even want to start there because I do want to go ahead and clarify that you think that Kamala Harris is worse than the rapist, worse than the person that tried to coup our country and rig an election, worse than the felon, worse than the guys whose economic policy disparages individuals the less money they make through the implementation of tariffs and the inflation that they cause, worse than the person that wants to personally, ethnically cleanse 2.1 million Palestinians off the Gaza Strip, worse than the person that wants to annex Canada, worse than the person that wants to annex Panama, worse than the person that said they would use the military to invade Greenland, worse than the person that said that he that agreed with Howard Stern when he called his own daughter a piece of ass, worse than the person that boasted about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenagers because she said that she wanted to critically examine reparations?
Okay, my turn. I'm going to start at one point at a time because you just gave like 15. Let's start with the last point you named, walking in the teenage bathrooms of half-naked teenagers or whatever. Isn't that what your party's all for with the gender dysphoria shit? You know, use whatever bathroom you identify with, even if you make women uncomfortable. So that's one point. The second point, what else you say? Annex Canada and Panama and Greenland. Honestly, what is the Dutchess doing with Greenland? Because as what I seen, a lot of Greenland wants to be a part of America, and it would be in our best strategic benefit to have Greenland join America.
Okay, I'm going to go and respond to the first point and then the second point. So first of all, there's no way that you could equivocate between a grown fucking cis man that owns a Miss Teen USA beauty pageant boasting about walking in to spy on them while they're half naked and a T woman using the women's restroom. I'd also like to clarify here that we cannot really talk about T related issues on this live. You'll get banned, I'll get banned, the stream will get banned. It's a bad day for everybody involved.
I'll leave it out.
But I will say, I will just say to kind of respond that when T women use a women's restroom, it actually makes all the women inside of the room safer, because when you instead decide to segregate the restrooms on the basis of biological sex, well then all of a sudden you're saying that trans men should go into the women's restroom. Trans men can look identical to cis men, if not in a lot of circumstances significantly more masculine. I can name fucking 3 T men that I've seen on social media that I know personally that look incredibly more masculine than I do. And if you're saying that that individual should be able to use a women's restroom, well then what the fuck is stopping any cis men from saying they're trans men and using that space? At least when we segregate on the basis of gender identity, less masculine individuals on average will be using the women's restroom, which decreases the chance that a very perverted cis man will take advantage of those rules and enter into the space. So if anything, when we allow trans women to enter into the space, we see better empirical outcomes insofar as the safety of all women, including cis women. But to move on to that, because we cannot talk about that.
Sure.
I don't think that explains the fact that we have a full-grown fucking cis man, okay, walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls. I cannot believe that you're willing to brush that off and then claim that you care about T-related issues. That's fucking hypocritical. And then your second point about saying that having this other country as a part of our own is a strategic advantage. Bro, a country being larger and having access to more materials will always give that country more of a strategic advantage, okay? The fact that we're now living in an era with the dawn of the internet where we could have conversation that is immediate against fucking, like, I don't know, thousands of miles, the larger a country is and the more resources it has, it will always be an on-paper strategic advantage. The reason why I do not support literally invading Ukraine and stealing it from them is because it is violating the right to self-determination of millions of citizens inside of Greenland, as well as Europe has said that they fully will back Greenland if a war were to occur, which would start World War III, which is not a strategic advantage. So those are the 2 reasons why your points are wrong.
Why would World War III start when we obviously have the peace president in office?
Because if we deployed the military in Greenland and they fought European troops and then NATO got involved after Elon Musk, pulls us out, that sounds like a world war to me.
Yeah, so what if something that Donald Trump would never do if it involved starting a World War III?
Oh, actually, no.
About peace.
A reporter asked him to give confidence to the American people that he would never deploy our troops in Greenland, and what did he say? He said that he can't give confidence in that and we may do that. And he's not the peace president. How can you say that Donald Trump is a peace president when he's explicitly advocating for the ethnic cleansing of 2.1 million Palestinians on the Gaza Strip, giving them no right to return?
What is Palestine's whole? What are their whole stick about from the river to the sea? You know, like kill every Jew on the planet of Earth. So what are we even
Oh
having
my God.
that discussion for? That's very hypocritical.
Holy fucking shit. Spell Palestine.
I don't care to.
Jesus Christ, dude, you can't fucking spell the word Palestine, but you think that you know enough
You're
to say that
asking me-
every
you're asking me
Palestinian
a question
hates
that's
every
irrelevant.
Jewish person alive? That is just the blatant demeaning and vindictive spite that you are using to literally spread Zionist propaganda to justify the rights infringements of 2.1 million humans. That is morally abhorrent. It is gross. I think that we should think critically about these subjects, especially as it would relate to the violation of 2.1 million people's human rights. I can't believe that you'd say that. He left, by the way. He ran away. Santana, I did see your message, and I was going to add you up at a natural block, but the guy left. So we were going to have Santana come up here and join us to talk to that guy. I just saw the message come in. He literally left. He ran away.
Yo, dude. Bro, I love your videos. Don't kick me. Don't kick me.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. W guy. Moving on to the next guest here. Everyone just give us a minute. Everyone just be patient. W guy. Everyone just be patient. What's up, Gabs? Did you vote for Trump?
Absolutely.
Great. Before we get on to our debate, Barbara, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Barbara. Barbara says, quite frankly, you were awesome last night on MSNBC. Dude, Barbara, thank you so much for the love. That's so kind of you, Barbara. I want to see 500 W Barbs in the chat. That is so incredibly kind. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Sid with the $50 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you, Sid. Let's go, dude. W's for Sid. W's for Barbara. 1,000 W's for Sid and Barbara. You guys are so awesome. It's good to see you again, Sid. I hope that you're having a good day. Everybody, please show some love. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal through the link tree in the bio on TikTok or in the pinned message on YouTube, where you can also support me using Super Chats. I read as many donations as possible, and you get a shout out, and it greatly supports me. But anyways, why did you vote for Trump?
Because he said he was gonna make America great. There was I just trust him better. He said he was gonna get rid of all the immigrants, and there's too many illegals.
All the immigrants?
There's too many illegals in this country.
Okay, real quick, what time is it?
6:16.
Okay, what's your
Yeah, this is in New Jersey.
Okay, perfect.
East time.
Perfect. So you think that deporting all undocumented migrants in America is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Well, because they need to come the right way. Like you can't just
come the right way,
do
yeah.
something illegal because.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Can you name one way that undocumented migrants in America that have not committed violent crimes hurt America as a whole, or just one way that undocumented migrants hurt the American economy?
Well, the Venezuelans, the you know how they started like doing crimes all over the place.
Yeah, you're talking about undocumented migrants that have committed violent crimes. I specifically asked you to name a way that undocumented migrants who have not committed violent crimes hurt America.
There was a sign in my city about this Hispanic man who like tried to sexually harass a woman, and I'm like, nah, man, that's not it.
Dude, are you
Like, what the
sentient?
fuck? What?
Are you sentient?
Am I sentient? What does that mean?
Specifically asked you to name a way that undocumented migrants in America that have not committed violent crimes hurt America, and then you responded to me by saying a Hispanic individual that's committed a violent crime. A, Hispanic doesn't mean illegal, and B, I specifically asked you about undocumented migrants that haven't committed violent crimes.
What about them?
Name one way they hurt America.
One way they come to America? Well,
No, they
can
hurt America. One way they hurt America.
They hurt. I don't think they might hurt America. I'm just saying that they can't be here. They're illegal.
Okay, so they don't hurt America. They actually help America. Undocumented migrants as a demographic pay over $100 billion in taxes on the federal, state, and local level per year. They also are productive providers to the American economy, increasing our GDP. Migrants as a whole are projected to add $1 trillion over the next 10 years. So in other words, a mass deportation only hurts our country. So then what's the solution to the undocumented migrants that are already here? I say mass amnesty, offering all nonviolent undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship so they can continue to support themselves and their families. They could continue to support the country by paying taxes and support the prospering American economy by adding to our GDP.
Okay, that's one way to do it, but like unfortunately that's just too hard.
Wait, well. But you think that the mass deporting 20 million people isn't?
Well, it obviously worked better than whatever making them legal.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because thousands of people were deported, so
Wait, there's less individuals being deported at the beginning of Trump's term in the first month, like under when compared to the last 3 months of Biden and Harris's. Also, like we just know that pathway to residency or citizenship would be better because let me ask you this: do undocumented migrants want to be deported?
I mean, why did they come in the first place? I'm guessing they
Answer
don't
my
want to
question:
be
do
deported.
undocumented migrants want to be deported?
No,
Do undocumented migrants want to be citizens?
probably yeah.
So
If
we,
they came to this
so
country, they want
we
to be
would have
citizens.
cooperation from undocumented migrants to offer them a pathway to citizenship or residency, but we wouldn't have cooperation from undocumented migrants as it would relate to a deportation, meaning that obviously the plan that would get cooperation from millions and millions of people would probably be more practical and easier to pull off, right?
Yeah, but if they're scared, like, how are they gonna come? If they're scared of like getting deported,
Well,
what if they
exactly.
get?
If we did mass amnesty, they wouldn't be scared of getting deported. Come on.
They're not gonna do it anymore. I mean,
What?
because they wouldn't do it anymore if they like if somebody offers them to become legal because it could be like ICE trying to tell them to like leave to be deported.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, so you know how ICE have been deporting people all around?
Wait, are you saying that if we did a pathway to residency or citizenship, people would think that
Well,
it's not
even
actually, they're just
even
ICE lying to them? What?
okay, so maybe in the past it was possible, but like in the present, I don't think that's possible anymore because you know anything to do with becoming or being deported or becoming a citizen for a illegal immigrant, it would just be uh, I don't know, it would feel for them like a trap. So that's not even a solution anymore.
Okay, so maybe to some undocumented migrants, they'd baselessly speculate that it's a trap. But I know that all undocumented migrants do know that mass deportation is a trap.
Right. Have you heard?
So does this
There
mean
was
that
this.
mass deportation doesn't work either?
I mean, it worked on getting rid of the illegals.
Okay, so then undocumented migrants thinking something is or is a trap doesn't matter to if the plan does
All
or
right.
doesn't work.
All right, I'm gonna be real with you. I love you, man. I've seen you everywhere. I didn't vote for Trump.
All right, well, I appreciate you so much for coming on, man. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Thank you for the support. Crazy troll, bro. Not gonna lie, crazy troll. Kayla, thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. I do really appreciate you for the love, Kayla. Everybody, please show some love to Kayla down below in that comment section. Kayla, that is crazy. Thank you. Kayla says, grateful to have a space for my teens to learn and form their own opinions with factual information from somebody who truly knows how to take accountability. Nothing but respect for you. Kayla, that message is so kind. Thank you so much for the kind message, as well as thank you so much for the $50 donation. Thank you so much, Kayla. I want to see at least 500 Kaylas down below in the live chats for the incredibly kind message and the huge donation. $50 is crazy. Thank you so much. And then also Kennedy with the $15 over on Venmo and Wendy with the $10 as well. Huge shout out to Kennedy and Wendy. And what is up, user? Did you vote for Trump?
Hi, I didn't, but I just had a quick question about something.
I'm so sorry. I am just looking to debate people that voted for Trump. I do apologize. If you have a question, feel free to hit up the Discord. I, as well as the other beautiful souls in there, would be very willing to talk to you about it. What is going on, Ghosty? Did you vote for Trump?
Dean, it's me, Harry. Please text me back. It's my burner account.
Okay, so I'm guessing that you did vote for Trump, but you just feel like trolling. Do you feel like debating, or you just feel like trolling today?
It's me, Harry. Text me back. No, I love you, bro. I voted.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next guest. We got Carly lit up, and please only hop in that queue if you voted for Trump. And also, if you're watching the live, guys, we are at 1.4 million likes. We're so close to 2 million likes. Everybody start double tapping. That would be phenomenal. What is up, Carly? Did you vote for Trump? And Garly left, quite frankly. Isaac is loading up. Go ahead and get a MAGA down below in that comment section. Spam MAGA down below if you want to join. Get a good I love Trump down there if you want to pop up. Hello, Isaac. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Age, please.
22.
Whoa, I got a question. He said 22. What do you call
Correct.
Lays?
What do I call what?
What do you call Lays?
Lays. I don't know what that is. Oh, Crisps.
Oh, crisps. Oh, what do you called? Fried cut potatoes.
Fried cut potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
What, crisps?
Oh, I got a question. If you were to write out the date on paper, would you do day, month, year, or month, day, year?
I'd do day, month, year. Yeah.
Oh, Isaac, things aren't looking too good for you, bud. What time is it?
I'll be honest, I am British. If that's
No, I actually don't really mind when like when the British trolls come up here and like they just like want to debate. But I'm not gonna lie, like most of the British trolls that we get are just absolute like complete bigots that come up here and slay. Hello, Con. Did you vote for Trump?
I think research.
I don't know what's going on there, and I don't want to know what's going on there, so we kicked on. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. Here we go. We're getting the next guest up here right now. Just give us a minute. Just give us a minute. All right, we got Authentic joining in. Really just looking for the next debate. You already know. Hello, did you vote for Trump?
I did. Yep.
How do you?
I'm 18.
18?
18, yes. I'm a fresh new voter for Trump.
Fresh new voter for Trump. Yeah, what year are you born in?
2006, October 4th.
2006, October 4th. So
Yep.
turn 9.
I'm a 5 months 18, yep.
What's a mortgage?
A mortgage? A loan you take out for a house?
Oh, okay. All right. If you're driving on the road, well, I guess, do you drive?
I do, yes.
If you're driving on the road and you see a solid yellow line next to a dotted yellow line, when the dotted yellow line is on your side of the road, what does that mean?
It means you can pass someone. I mean, I know all the rules of the road.
What about the people on the other side of the road?
They cannot pass you.
Oh, okay. All right. As far as I'm concerned, you passed. Chad, is there any other questions I need to ask him?
There is not. I'm just here to kind of... So, on the... again, I'm very calm with the debates. I've debated a lot of people for this.
Okay.
Why do you think Russia kicking out Ukrainian people, why do you think that is an ethnic cleansing?
Because they forcefully expelled Ukrainians to elsewhere, either by killing them or displacing them.
So, in the Palestinian war, when one side is kicking out another, is that not ethnic cleansing? So, the U.S. government, such as the Democratic Party, wants to support one another. Are we not supporting an ethnic cleansing for one group or the other? Is that true? Yes or no?
It is true that both the Democrats and the Republicans support the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians through funding, support, and aid for Israel. My claim is that Kamala Harris was slightly better than Trump, as Trump's policy was worse.
I will agree with you that. I will say, I don't think as Americans we can debate the Israeli-Palestinian war only because both sides are, in a way, doing an ethnic cleansing.
No.
Why do you think the Israeli war is a thing? Why do you think that's all? Why do you think that's
Well, so first of all, like, I think that what we've observed is the state of Israel killing Palestinians, taking their homes away, like slaughtering children, like killing babies. Now the U.S. wants to go in and take the Gaza Strip from the Palestinians and forcefully relocate them to Jordan and Egypt. I think that there is a place for I and others to say that that is bad and we should not be supporting the state of Israel. And and apparently international courts agree. But I just want to ask you, why'd you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump because it was immigration. I am an immigrant, so I'm not a U.S. native. I was adopted into an American family. I voted for Trump based off the economic status of the U.S. before the Biden presidency campaign, which really took a toll. I voted on him for rights based off abortion, free speech, all that other stuff. I voted for Trump also because of the way he views the world. Obviously, with like him being Christian, both of them are Christian, but if you look into the rabbit hole, you can see what Biden and Kamala, all of them be doing. Kamala. I like to slang her name. That's my fault. I won't do that.
Okay. Do you mind if I just address like one point, or I guess two points that you brought up?
Yeah, no problem.
So, Mr. Christian, should abortion be illegal because of your faith? Says it's bad and whatnot.
This is my radical stance. Many are going to argue. I think it should be illegal outright. If anyone in the chat wants to bash me, that is fine. We all have our personal opinion. That is what makes the U.S. a great country. Is we can believe what we want. I personally think it should be based off my faith.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Are you Orthodox, Catholic, Protestant, Baptist?
I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic.
Do you agree with the New Testament where it says that all sins are equal in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy?
Yes and no. Because sins are all equal to the point where if you do it again, then that sin becomes graver. Because if you know it's wrong and you know that you shouldn't be doing it, yet you continue to do it, that sin actually is graver. That That is, minor sin becomes a mortal sin. If you know something is wrong and yet you choose to perform in that act of sin, that actually does make it worse. That is in the Bible. Under mortal sin, you cannot go to heaven. That is why reconciliation and that is why forgiveness is a thing.
Okay, yeah. If you're Catholic, like you think that sins can be classified with different wrongnesses. So my typical argument would only apply to individuals that aren't Catholic, aren't Orthodox, and do just straight up agree that all sins are equal in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy. No. So you think that grape victims shouldn't have access to abortion?
They should. Well, I'm not very.
You said that it should be banned outright.
I think it should personally, but am I going to judge someone for what they do? Absolutely not. That's
no.
Not
Do you think that grape victims should or should not have access to abortion?
My personal belief, no.
Okay. Why?
Because if you look at the numbers, when people say it can affect the mother, it can affect the child, under 5% of grape-induced pregnancies actually affect the mother. Most of them can be saved both ways through C-section, birth, and other ways. The fact that the media and most people argue that it affects the child or affects the 12-year-old, if we're looking at biological humans as a species, when did women give birth to back in the day? When humans first started having babies, way back when were they having babies? About 8 to 15 years old. Genetically, humans, is it wrong in today's, yes, is it wrong to have a child that young in moral society in today's standards? Absolutely. I would never wish a child to have a baby at that age. But when we're looking at a biological human, at a biological male and female, women could have babies back at the age of 11. Is it wrong? Yes. But if you look at science and if you look at biology, as Democrats and everyone always argues, yes. Would I ever wish that upon anyone? Obviously not. But humans, as a species, women can have children at that age and still be healthy.
Okay. So I don't know if it's just me. No, just kidding. I know it's not just me. That was the most ignorant 18-year-old man thing that I've ever heard. And honestly, it moved past being an ignorant 18-year-old like boy thing to say into just straight up like watch list type shit. But to say that only 5% of pregnancies as a result of grape affect the woman just shows me that you know nothing about pregnancy and nothing about women.
That's the health and
like
the livelihood.
I'd like to just go ahead and clarify that fact that 100% of pregnancies, especially pregnancies onset by grape, affect women.
My fault. What I meant by that is
no. I'm gonna go ahead and speak. That was just crazy to say. Like first and foremost, like regardless of who's pregnant, if they consent to it, if they want it, or if they don't consent to the pregnancy, if they don't want that child, regardless, etc., that pregnancy is going to affect the woman.
Yes,
okay?
I would.
Like, not only do we need to talk about.
I was wrong. Can I say I was wrong?
No, just let me speak. Not only do we need to talk about like the physical pains and traumas onset, but then also like how it can affect your hormonal, your hormones. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, by affected 5%, that was me saying the livelihood, like if they're gonna live or die. That was not overall life status.
Oh my God. Okay, well,
look up the numbers. How many?
I'm really. Hey, just listen to me real quick.
Yes, sorry, my fault.
So first of all, knowing nothing but that pregnancies onset by grape kill 5% of women who are pregnant, that fact alone should give you enough reason to think that they should have access. That is crazy. But secondarily, here's my thing about women that are raped in a pregnancy in which can be caused by that grape. That grape victim has fucking no obligation to provide for the needs of the fetus growing inside of her uterus without your consent.
You think a fetus is a child? Do you think it is a living?
Why do I care about words?
Because
do I think that a fetus is a child? I don't care about the classification of the term child. What is that? What is irrelevant?
If a fetus is living, then we are offing a living organism.
Okay, yeah, the fetus is alive from the moment of conception. You're killing a living organism.
Exactly. So how is that right? How is murdering an innocent child?
Well, I don't think that we should equivocate between murdering and killing, because if you think that killing something is murdering it, well, then you're fucking paying for murder every single time you eat chicken or beef because that cow or that chicken had to be killed in order for you to eat it. So now we don't just merely think that killing is murdering, or else we'd think that you are culpable for genocide every
What
single
is
time you brush your teeth because you kill hundreds of thousands, millions, and billions of
a bacteria?
unicellular bacterial
Yes.
organisms. So
Okay.
no, murder is not just merely killing.
What is an
It's
abortion
the
then?
okay. Are you gonna shut the fuck up? What is your problem?
What is an abortion?
No, I'm trying to describe to you what murder is and how you got it wrong by equivocating killing to murder. Are you going to stop talking and listen to me while I speak so I could educate you?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Thank you. Like, it's not that hard. Just wait until I'm done so you could speak.
Bye.
Anyways, no, we cannot just merely equivocate between killing and murder. Okay? Murder is the wrongful killing of one else. It is the unjustified killing of one else. Now, I think that all elective lethal abortions before 20 weeks are justified, as a fetus doesn't have the ability to deploy any level of consciousness, but I don't want to get into that right now. I'd first want to get into the fact why I think that a great victim getting an abortion at any point isn't justified. Are you ready for me to explain why?
Yes, you can talk.
Because the woman that got raped and got pregnant as a result of said rape has no obligation to provide for the needs of the fetus growing in her uterus. And we could use an analogy to prove it. Let's imagine you make a livable wage, but all of your wage goes to buying you food. And every single night, somebody breaks into your house and steals half your food for 9 months, and it destroys your quality of life. And there's a way that you could fix this by locking your door at night. But you know, if you lock your door at night, preventing this person from stealing your food will cause that person to die. Let me ask you a question. Should it be illegal for you to lock your front door at night to prevent this person from stealing your food, even if they die as a result?
No. What I will ask, let me make my counter argument. So the woman or the child or whoever is being raped has no reason to have that baby live, correct? Why are we putting a higher value on a living human being than a human being that could potentially live? Why are we giving more value? Why are we giving more credit to someone who's been on this earth than to someone who could be? Why are we overvaluing one human and not valuing someone else?
Oh,
Yes,
honey, you got it all wrong.
So you're saying
now just listen. In the analogy that I just gave you, where you said it is justified for you to lock your door at night, prevent the burglar from stealing your food, even if it unalives them. Let me ask you, is the person stealing your food any less valuable than you are?
No.
This conversation about why rape victims should have access to abortion has nothing to do with the value of the fetus. I don't mind if you attribute all the value in the world to the fetus, the same way you have no obligation to legally provide for the needs of the person that's stealing half of your food at night, and it should be legal for you to lock your door, preventing that person from stealing your food. A victim of a rape has no obligation to legally provide her bodily resources for the means of the fetus, and just like you should be allowed to lock your front door at night, she should be allowed to evict that fetus from her uterus, even if it results in the fetus's death. The argument for why a great victim should be able to access abortion has nothing to do with the value of the fetus and all to do with the rights of the mother.
Can I make an analogy on that? So if a great victim doesn't want to take care of a kid for personal, financial, moral reasons, everyone says that is okay because that is not the great victim's fault, right? Again, moral, livelihood, they want to take care of themselves over that fetus. Why then, if an adult male father has a kid and he can't financially support it, why can't he walk out on the woman? Why does his paycheck have to go to this woman who had a kid? Why does that happen? This is the same thing you're saying. You're saying that if a woman and that can't take care of the child because she was raped, because she doesn't have the needs, because she was young, hormonally she can't do it. Why? Who's telling a man that he must pay money to his wife who had a kid because even though he has no money? Why does he have to benefit to a woman? Why does he have to give his paycheck to a woman if he doesn't have the financial means? Now we're saying that a woman doesn't have to pay for her kid, doesn't have to take care of that kid or bring that kid for 9 months. Why does a man have to do the same for a woman who just had his kid if he can't do it financially?
I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I want a yes or no. Are you
Got
ready?
it. Yep.
Did the great victim consent to the possible conception of the kid?
Nope.
Did the father consent to the possible conception of the kid?
Depends.
In
You know how many-
scenarios where the father did consent to the possible conception to the kid, losing his rights to what happens with his sperm the moment it is released in the woman's body, he has an obligation to provide for that child as soon as it's morally valuable, just like the mother. If the father did not consent and was raped, he has no obligation.
So because you have a kid means you are utterly by law ordered to pay for that kid if he is born, if you don't have the financial means.
If the man's raped and a woman gets pregnant, I don't think he should have any obligation to do so. And I don't think that's what the law says.
We can't pick or choose whose life is more valuable. We're
This
saying
has nothing to do with the value of the life. Are you like?
you're saying
What are
you're
you?
saying
What?
that a
Why?
woman who is
Why?
raped.
Wait. Why do you? Why do you keep? What are you saying? I'm so sorry. This is like. Are you reading off of flashcards?
No, the reason abortion is such a big deal is because we are picking the woman who was raped, the woman who unconsensually was, raped. We're saying that her life
so
is important.
I'm making this clear. If a man's raped by a woman that gets pregnant because she raped a man, that man shouldn't have to pay child support.
But he still will end up, won't he? ChatGPT is crazy.
I don't. No, he won't. And if there's a state in America that forces victims of rape to pay child support, that state's law is so fucking immoral.
That's immoral, but also killing an innocent human being is immoral too.
No, you already disavowed that statement. Remember when you told me that you think it should be legal for you to lock that person out of your house, even if that causes their death by you preventing them from stealing your food? That is exactly why I think a rape victim should be able to access abortion. They didn't consent to sex. They didn't consent to the conception of that fetus. They have no obligation to provide for its needs. In getting an abortion, they're merely evicting the fetus from being reliant on your bodily resources, which unfortunately results in the consequence of the fetus's death. Just like if you were to lock your door at night from the person that comes in and steals half your food, if that kills them, you're not culpable, sir. So do we see how you pick and choose where your logic applies? And for whatever reason, you think it's okay for you to do it, but not the rape victim, you sick POS?
I have a question. I have a great idea on how we can solve this. I mean, it's obviously going to be up to the person because at the end of the day, it's always my body, my choice, right? What if, again, no one's ever going to force someone to do it. What if abortion is outright, okay, anyone in the comments, y'all can go crazy when I say this. What if we ban abortion in general, but then we give tons of money to that family, to the victim, so they can financially support that child, so they can get the help they need, they can get the physical, emotional. Why can't we do that instead? Why can't we save a life, but also?
Oh my God. Okay, so you're like, yeah, it's definitely not wrong for a great victim to get
It is
an
wrong.
abortion.
It is completely wrong.
Okay, give me one reason.
Because a woman was unconsensually raped. Obviously, it's wrong.
Wait, so a great victim getting an abortion is wrong because she was raped?
A great victim getting an abortion is wrong because she is killing a living organism, a living child.
Okay, I'm going to walk you through this one last time. Are you ready?
Yes, no problem.
Somebody comes into your house at night and steals half your food. Are you following?
Yes.
They'll do this for 9 months and it will really decrease your quality of life. Are you following?
Yes.
Every night you leave your front door unlocked, and that is the only reason they're able to come in and steal your food. Are you following?
Yes.
One night you decide to lock your front door, which prevents them from stealing the food you bought, you paid for, you worked for, and they die of starvation. Are you following?
Yes.
Was that wrong?
Yeah.
Should it be illegal?
Yes.
So it should be illegal. It should be illegal to stop people from stealing your property?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you live? I'm going to come take your house, man.
Okay, then you'll go to jail.
But you just said it shouldn't be illegal, so obviously you'd contest the court.
Well, you're making an analogy. We're not talking about.
Obviously, if I came and I stole your house, and I got the crib, and next thing I know, I'm in court for trespassing and burglary, you're gonna come and testify, say that no charges should be pressed because you think that is so bad, right?
I mean, whatever.
No, I'm serious. Text me your address. I kind of want a new crib. I mean, you don't think it's wrong? My house now.
Okay. I mean, I really don't think you need a new crib, but you're getting all these people to pay you for your status. I mean, I'm just on here to, debate. I mean, I don't hate people who do abortions. Obviously, I think it's wrong. That's me as a person. I'm never gonna bash you because you did one. Well, maybe in my brain, I think you messed up, obviously. But I'm never gonna treat you differently for doing it. And people saying that I support rapists, I support all this.
Do you really think that it should be illegal to prevent people from stealing your property? So I just want to clarify. You don't think that people should be able to own guns?
Let's quit using analogies and let's say how it's played at face value.
Oh,
do I think it's illegal?
I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop engaging in critical thought. You think that the ownership of any and all guns should be criminalized, right?
No.
Name one reason people need to own guns.
Self-protection.
But you just agreed that it should be illegal to protect yourself or your property.
So you're saying a baby is harming a person?
No fucking shit, yeah.
So when a woman has a child, that
No,
baby's
no
coming
fucking,
in.
no fucking shit. Pregnancies obviously perpetuate harm. It is logically implied that if a mother is pregnant and a mother does not want to be pregnant, there will be undesirable traits, attitudes, both mentally and physically induced via the existence of said pregnancy. If pregnancies didn't perpetuate undesirable states, both mentally and physically, then we wouldn't have any woman ever getting any abortion ever. Like, the only reason why women get abortions is because of the undesirable states mentally and physically that that a pregnancy or child raising a child can perpetuate. Like, that's obviously true. You're just justifying. Your goal isn't to say that pregnancies don't cause harm to a woman. You're just supposed to say that they're supposed to deal with it.
I mean, yeah, if we can support them financially, mentally, physically, why wouldn't? I mean, obviously, it's gonna suck that they have to go through that, but there are ways to help them cope. There are ways to get them the help and they need.
I'm so fucking sorry. You're basically saying that human rights violations are justified as long as you're supporting them financially.
They're not justified.
So I'm so sorry if somebody's raping
Rape
me.
is wrong?
If somebody's raping me, but every 5 seconds they give me $100 bill, is that fine?
No.
Yeah. So obviously, rights
Rape is
infringements
wrong?
are not justified, even if you want to try to pay them off.
Grape is wrong, and so is abortion.
Wait. Let's talk about that. Why is grape wrong?
Because you're unconsensually raping someone, and abortion is wrong because you're killing an innocent child.
So why is unconsensual intercourse wrong?
Because it was unconsensual. The person said no to it.
So more specifically, unconsensual intercourse is wrong as it would impede upon and violate one's right to self-determination and ownership over their bodily functions. Yes?
And so what's saying that child
yes?
has...
Now just give me a minute.
I said yes.
Yes?
Yep, correct,
Yes.
correct.
Now think about a grape victim that gets pregnant as a result of said unconsensual intercourse. The fact that conception has occurred, that unicellular zygote has implanted into the uterine lining, and the fetus is now reliant upon the environment and bodily resources of said grape victim. That grape victim, just as she did not address or assert consent for the intercourse, she's also not addressing or inserting consent for that fetus being reliant upon her bodily resources, which would classify it as an identical human rights violations because it is infringing upon her ownership over her bodily functions.
Yes, the grape victim is being violated over humanitarian rights, but because it was unconsensual. Does that child, under U.S. law and under most global laws, a fetus has no rights, has no status to say what it is, because obviously it is a fetus, but it's still living. How are we not going to justify the fact that that fetus also has humanitarian rights to live and to come out of the womb?
So I want to clarify. I don't think that a fetus has the right to life. But
No?
no, I don't at all. But even once again, if we suggested the fetus did have a right to life, a grape victim is still justified in getting an abortion. And I've already explained in a hypothetical in which that would be the case.
So the humanitarian right of that 11-year-old girl that was raped is higher than the humanitarian right of that fetus.
The fetus doesn't fucking have the right.
But if they did, you just said even if they did, it doesn't matter. That grape victim still has a morally higher humanitarian right. Correct? Did you not just say that?
Under my worldview, I think that the grape victim is the only person, the only thing with the right to life.
And I respect
The
you for that,
entity of
yeah.
the grape victim has the right to life. The entity of the fetus does not have the right to life. The grape victim is a person. The fetus is not. Okay? That's abundantly clear. But
That's like
once
saying-
again, the whole point of my argument, insofar as why grape victims getting access to abortion, it's not to convince you that it's okay to get okay, let me rephrase it this way. I'm not trying to convince you that a grape victim getting an abortion is okay because a fetus doesn't have value.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince you that a grape victim getting an abortion is okay because the fetus has no right to the mother's bodily resources, and the mother has no right to has no obligation to provide her bodily resources to the fetus. It's very fucking simple. Think about it this way, man. You're kidnapped in the middle of the night. Are you following?
Yes.
You wake up in the morning and you're connected via IV to another person. Are you following?
Yes.
You're then told that if you connect the IV from your arm at any point in the next 9 months, if you get up from the bed at any point in the next 9 months, the person on the other end of the IV will die. Are you following?
Yes. Are you obligated to keep that?
But you were kidnapped.
Are you obligated?
And you were placed in this scenario. Should it be illegal for you to run away from the kidnappers and yank that IV out of your arm?
And then kill the other person. Yes, I know this analogy. I would say yes, because at the end of the day, you are keeping a person alive. So technically, in a certain way, you are murdering that person. You can't argue that. You cannot say no to that.
I can say no to that.
How?
And the reason I say
if your
no
life,
to that,
if your life is protecting another life.
If you're gonna ask me a question, you must let me respond.
Yes, sir.
Because definitionally speaking, murder is the unjust termination of the human life, and I do not find that to be unjustified. In fact, I find it to be justified. Have you ever watched? You know, let me ask you this question. So you're just saying that it's not okay to terminate a violation of your rights, such as the fact that you got kidnapped and forcefully placed in this bed, if it leads to the death of another person, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm getting raped, and the only way for me to stop the grape is to kill the grapist, would I be a murderer if I killed the grapist?
Yes. Technically, yes.
Should that be illegal?
Yeah, because murder is wrong.
Okay, so that's when you just look insane. I don't value you. You can leave now.
Adios. I was actually gonna ask if I
No,
could.
I just don't value you. Like the words that you speak are meaningless. I think that you regress society. You're very harmful and detrimental to like the rest of the world. I don't value you, nor do I
All
value
I'm gonna
a
say
single
is
word that comes
you
out
can
of your mouth.
unvalue me. I respect you very much. So
No, you fucking don't.
I do. Have I ever came after you?
No, dude, you're telling a victim of grape that it's not okay for a grape victim to kill the rapist if that's the only way to end the rights violations. You don't fucking respect me. Get the hell out of here. We're gonna go to move on. There's no fixing that, bro. We're gonna go to get the next guest up in here. Randall, thank you so much for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. The thing's gone. The thing got kicked. We're going to move on. But seriously, Randall, I do really appreciate you so much for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Randall says, friend of mine had an abortion after being raped because she knew every time she looked at the child, she would remember the pain that she went through with the grape. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories like that. Like, you know, there's a whole other like flip side of the coin here. Like, obviously, the reason why grape victims should be able to have access to abortion doesn't have anything to do with like the kid, but there's also like legitimate concerns that could be made insofar as a lifestyle that a child that was a product of grape would have on average compared to children that weren't. Okay, and that is like a completely other. That's the other side of the coin that I don't make an argument about, but it still definitely exists. Grape victims should have access to intercourse, not only for the grape victims' rights, but also for the family fucking unit. Why are we forcing family units to exist? And when I say forcing, I literally mean forcing through grape. Amber, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying I wanted my kid in my pregnancy was still traumatic. I feel the effects from it, and my kid is 8. No one should be forced to go through pregnancy. Thanks for fighting for women, Dean. Amber, I appreciate you for the kind message. And yeah, I'm so sorry. And I do really appreciate you for the $20. Everybody, please show some love to Amber. What is going on, Jack? Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Age, please.
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
Fresh voter.
Jack, what year were you born in? Okay, Jack's not here, so we're going to move on to the next guest. We get that next guest, James, loading up. Riley, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. I want to see everybody show some love to Riley, at least 100 W Rileys down below in that chat. What's up, James? Did you vote for Trump?
Yo, what's up? Yes, I did.
Why?
What's that?
Why, man?
I respect him better than I did Harris.
And why is that?
Hey, I got a quick question though for you.
Okay.
Would you be okay with the whole society of the U.S. being democratic?
Would I be okay with everybody agreeing with me? Yeah.
So you'd be okay with like the government changing to all democratic views?
Yeah, if everybody agreed with me, that'd be great.
So you're like political system wise,
Well,
voting.
I think that we need to be like much more specific. When you say democratic, I'm assuming that you mean agree with Dean, not like the Dean's, like not the beliefs perpetuated by the DNC. I'd
Well, no,
really
you
okay if
support
everybody
democratic
agreed with
views, though,
Dean.
right?
I don't support all democratic views. Let me make it clear. If you're asking me, should everybody agree with Dean? My answer is yes.
Okay, I guess I should have worded it differently. As in majority of democratic views, do you support that?
I'd support that more than supporting like a majority of like Republican views. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my question was just okay. That changes my whole question then.
Wait, why?
I was just gonna be like, what's that?
Wait, why? I want everyone to think what I think. And oh, the live got banned. Blah. Okay, all right. It was a 10-minute ban for guest violation, hate speech, and hateful behaviors. Big L, big L, big L, big L. So we're actually going to go ahead and spend the rest of the evening over on the DNC Dean account. We're going to be streaming through the computer. Super exciting. Here's what I'm going to do real quick, guys. I'm going to go pee. There's definitely going to be a lot of new people coming into the stream just from TikTok. So for everybody coming in, I'm just going to go use a restroom real quick. And I'm going to be right back. And then we'll get right back on TikTok on @DNCDean. Everybody give me a minute and make sure to, you know, everyone in the chat, for all the newcomers, let them know that I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Yo, listen, I'm back. Why do you guys do this to me every time? Every time. I always get the LDs when I run away. You know what? Actually, yeah, I was just running from you guys. I was scared, so I ran. You know, let's face the facts. I just couldn't keep up. You know, you guys were cooking me, so I ran away scared, quite frankly. Guys, we're going to go ahead and start the live on the DNC Dean account. I just got to load up a few things on my laptop and close out of a few things on the computer. You know, there's a lot of steps, a lot of hoops I got to jump through. I wash my hands. Shut up, conspiracy theorists. A lot of hoops that I got to jump through to get the live up and running, but we'll do it as we speak. Actually, the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and switch the mic off the phone to the computer. I'm going to go silent for around 10 seconds. Just give me a moment. And there we are. Look at that. We're now switched over to the computer. That is great. That is phenomenal. Let's go ahead and get a couple things loaded up. I'm actually loading up the YouTube stream on my laptop right now. Cole, give me the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat. Very kind, quite frankly. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and close out of everything on the computer. Open up the stream on the lap. Tippity top. Horrible audio. What do you mean it's horrible? Echo? Oh. Sorry. I had it on the wrong selection. I was trying to figure out where the issue was stemming from. Because I was like, I swear I have everything set up right. No, I just had the camera mic selected. My bad, you guys. Sorry. My bad. Yo! Valeria! Thank you for the $20 super chat. Saying I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Valeria! Everybody show some love to Valeria in that chat. That is very kind of you. Thank you for the love, Valeria. Thank you so much. Oh, he butchered that? Valeria, I am so sorry if I butchered your name. That's not how, bro. I'm just gonna call you V. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, V. You don't deserve that, especially after a $20 donation. Thank you so much for the love. I'm sorry for butchering the name. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get up and running on TikTok. One last... Dude, I've seen these fucking TikToks about my anxiety pin blowing up. Why do y'all care, bro? Let me breathe in lavender and chamomile. We're going to go ahead and hop on TikTok right now. All right. The stream has started. At DNC Dean. Here we go. Should be good. Oh, yeah, we're solid. We're solid. We're looking good today. All right. Hey! Wow. There's so many people tuning in here. Yo, Thomas! Thank you for the $10 donation on Venmo. That's very kind of you. Start off the stream with some W's for Thomas. For everybody tuning in to the TikTok live, thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see each and every single one of y'all. We are back. So we actually got banned on the main account. It was only a 10-minute ban, but I thought that we'd come back on here. You know what I mean? Mac with $5 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for the love. We are going to go ahead and hop right into the debates, but please, y'all, it's going to take a little bit longer for the live on this account to send out into that For You page. So if you're watching the live right now over on TikTok and you want to help, you get out by double tapping on that phone screen, getting this live to send out and across that For You page. You could also help out by spamming that chat, saying hey, saying what's up, saying hello. And at last, you can help out by hopping in that queue if you voted for Trump and sharing this live with a handful of friends. We already have a couple guest requests here, so we're going to go ahead and start picking from them. Keep in mind, if you're on that queue, make sure it means you voted for Trump. Really only looking for debates. You know, you guys know what's up. You guys know what's up. We got that first guest, Ross, loading into the live right now. What is up, Ross? Did you vote for Trump? And Ross automatically dropped. Please make sure that you're only in that queue if you voted for Trump. We're going to get that first debate of the day going. So just give us a minute, quite frankly. Here we go. What is going on, S? Did you vote for Trump?
Can you hear me?
I can. It's very echoey. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Can you come significantly closer to your mic?
I did.
Okay, why?
1 second. Give me literally 2 seconds. I'm like getting out of an elevator. So I voted for Trump. Not really the same reason a lot of these people did.
I'm sorry, bro. Your mic started lagging. So, like at first, and I was just going to say, we could put up with a bad mic, but then it started lagging. We just had a kick. I'm so sorry, man. By the way, for everybody tuning in on here on TikTok, welcome into the first 1,000 people. It's super good to have you all here with me today. We're live on at DNC Dean. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would start double tapping on that phone screen and sharing that live to try to push us out into the algorithm. And then also Grace with the 10 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love. What is up, Sam? Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
All right, Mr. Sam, why the hell did you decide to vote for the worst president of your life?
Well, for a few reasons. We could talk about a lot of reasons, but I'm interested in speaking to you about abortion. I was on your live before, and you were having a conversation, and I disagree with the view that the other guy had, but I think there was a lot of stuff that you said that wasn't really consistent. So
okay, just out of curiosity, just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh, great. Okay, so you think that women shouldn't have access to abortions? Very bad, right?
Most of the time.
Okay, why?
Why? Because it's the unjustified killing and ending the life of the fetus inside of her. Most of the time.
And why is that wrong? Why is that unjust?
Why is ending the life of a fetus unjust?
Yeah.
Because it has potential and will almost definitely grow to be a human person, and you're preventing that from happening.
Yeah.
And I think that at conception, we are chosen out of the trillions of sperm cells and trillions of possibilities for the consciousness that we are to come into this world. We are the ones that are chosen to come into this world, and we're the ones chosen to come into the woman's womb, and an abortion prevents that process from happening.
Okay. Real quick, for everybody over on TikTok, is my mic sounding all right? I'm just seeing a couple comments about my mic. Okay, who are we chosen by?
Well, I mean, I mean, I would say the universe, and then I would equate that to the idea of God, but
Okay,
I
so
don't
I
really
just want
want
to
to talk
clarify
about.
that, like, so there's like particular conditions that a fetus can develop, which will mean that fetus can experience biological life. However, it won't experience any sentience ever in the future. Would you be okay with an abortion in that circumstance, given that it doesn't have the potentiality to be like you or I? Or would you say that abortion is still wrong as that fetus was chosen?
No, for most of those cases, I would say that it's right up until a certain stage. Like, I don't love the idea of aborting in the third term for a child that's going to face severe kind of like disabilities that wouldn't allow them to have a perceived consciousness in their life. But before viability, I think that those abortions are probably justified.
Okay, so then it has nothing to do with being chosen and all to do with consciousness in the future. Real quick, have we spoken
No,
before?
of course it does. Of course it does. But the universe also chooses us and chooses certain people to be given terrible disabilities. And I don't think it's necessarily justified to force those people to live. I think that the woman can have the decision for their child if they want their child to have to live with those disabilities.
Jordan, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Now I'm really confused by your argument because you're saying that abortion is wrong because they have the potential to be an individual like you or I in the future, but abortion isn't wrong if the fetus has a disability. We're kind of like all over the place. I'm not going to lie. Have we spoken before?
We're not really. We're not really all over the place.
Have we spoken
I don't
before?
understand what you're... months ago, a really long time ago, we've spoken.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and give you kind of like the quick rebuttal that I'm going to move on as like we've already spoken. So
Like a while ago, I'd really love to talk to you about this. I don't see how your point makes any sense at all.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm going to give you the rebuttal. Then I am going to move on. I have a pretty strict rule. I only talk to people one time. But I do want to go ahead and rebuttal your stance real quick. So you're saying that you value the fetus predicated on the potentiality for future experiences. In no circumstance do we ever say that a trait grants you a right, and if you have the potentiality for that trait, will extend that right to you now, such as you're doing with consciousness granting the right to life, then giving that right to life to a fetus because of the potentiality for consciousness in its future. That's like
Can you
saying
really
that
compare
that's
other
like,
things
That's
to
like saying
consciousness?
that being 18 grants you the right to consent to sex, and because a 10-year-old will be 18 in the future, they should get the right to consent to sex now. Or being 21 gives you the right to buy alcohol, and a 15-year-old has the potentiality to be 21 in the future. Therefore, we should give you the right to buy alcohol now. We never confuse, we never obfuscate between potentiality for a trait and actually having that trait now. So if you think that consciousness in an experience like ours is valuable, you should only grant that right to life when that trait is present. But as we've already spoken before, I'm going to go to move on to our next guest, as I only speak to individuals once. Let's go to get that next guest, Matt, up on the live. For everybody watching the stream, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. If you're one of the 2.2 thousand people watching over on TikTok, make sure that you're double tapping. Audio on TikTok is bad. Yeah, what's going on with the audio? But we're going to go to get that next guest up in here literally right now. We got MYS loading in. All right. What is going on at MYS? Did you vote for Trump?
I did not, but I
All
just.
right. Well, we are just looking to debate people that did. So we have 2.2 thousand people in the stream right now, but for whatever reason, we only have 13 guest requests. What that is telling me is that there's some people that are very scared, quite frankly. Why is there thousands of people watching with nobody in the queue? Hello, did you vote for Trump?
I just want to say you're super cool, Dean.
I appreciate you for the love. That is very kind of you. Moving on to the next guest, Purples and Colors, loading up right now. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can support me over Venmo or PayPal, which you can find in the link tree in the bio. What is up, Purple? Did you vote for Trump?
I did not mean to do that. My bad.
No worries. We're going to move on to the next guest. For everybody watching, make sure that we're double tapping. As well as if you want up, go ahead and spam MAGA in that chat. We'll get you up here. There's just not a lot of people that want to debate right now. You guys are so scared. What is up? Did you vote for Trump? Hello?
Oh my goodness. Sorry, I didn't mean to join. Oh my goodness.
No worries. Moving on to our next guest, Elliot. Everyone just give us a minute while we get Elliot up in the queue, guys. Once again, only looking to talk to people that voted for Trump. Proven to be a little bit difficult today, but we got the next guest, Nat, loading in. Hello, Nat. Did you vote for Trump?
Dean, I love you so much. I love you.
I appreciate you for your support. That is very kind of you. Indeed, that is very kind of you. Moving on. Here we go. Oh, my God. High Spins. Did you vote for Trump? Spins is leaving and running away, so we're gonna go and kick Spins and move on. We got dog history loading up into the box. Quite frankly. Hello, did you vote for Trump?
Oh no, my bad.
Okay, moving on. Everyone, just give us a minute. Noah Wiz is now connecting to the live, walking us through to the next guest. Noah Wiz has actually left the live because Noah Wiz was not looking for a debate. So now we'll get the next guest, Colin, up. Hello, Colin. Did you vote for Trump?
I voted for John Pork.
Oh, dude, that was really funny. I'm laughing really hard. Moving on to the next guest. Just give us a minute. Villainous Toys is loading in right now. Hello, did you vote for Trump?
Evil Dean be like.
I
voted for Trump.
Oh my God, that was a good one. Moving on to the next guest. Just looking to debate people that voted for Trump. Just give us a minute. Hello, Olivia. Did you vote for Trump? Olivia? No, Olivia didn't. In fact, Olivia left. Moving on to Streamer Cat right now. Or Emily. We'll get Emily up here right now. Just give us a minute. Okay. Well, it looks like Emily didn't want to join. So we got Madman loading up into the box. Here we go. Madman is loading in right now as we speak. Hello, Madman. Did you vote for Trump?
I did not realize I was joining.
No worries. Moving on. Next guest, Liv Rose is connecting. Here we go. Sid with a $25 donation over on Venmo saying sassy Dean-era. Yeah, we're a little sassy today. Thank you so much for the love, Sid. Everyone show some love to Sid. Hello, Liv. Did you vote for Trump?
No. How do I get off?
Moving on. We got Mex loading up. Here we go, everybody. Mex is loading up into the live. Hello, did you vote for Trump? Max is not here. They left. Moving on. Next guest, H3 is loading into the live. This is great. This is phenomenal. So much fun. Hello, H3. Did you vote for Trump? Oh, you left too. Great. Super cool. Super fun. This is awesome. What's up, JW?
Bro,
Did you vote for Trump?
I hate Camilla. Yeah, I hate Camilla. She's so bad, you know that.
Okay.
I actually hate Camilla.
13 from
Like, Donald
Britain.
Trump's just like better, you know?
Okay, it's a literal child from the other side of the planet. So we're going to gotta move on to Caleb. Hey, by the way, if you're watching on TikTok and you're a Trump supporter, just drop a mag in the chat. We'll get you up here. Hey, Caleb, did you vote for Trump?
Dina, I have one question, please.
So that's a no. So I'm kicking you and I'm moving on. You don't get one question because I want debates. Sorry. Hello. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
You did. Awesome. Why?
What? That's a lie.
Can you repeat that reason for me?
Did you say lie or why?
I said, why did you vote for Trump?
Just I feel like he had better ethics and morality than the other candidate or the other top running candidate.
Okay. So typically when somebody comes up on my live and says that, I just shut it down really quick, and it's usually pretty entertaining, pretty fact oriented. I have a new question. Why do you think that?
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't like the way that Biden ran things with how inflation had went, and then how we were looking with stock market and other choices he made during his run with Kamala.
Wait, so
especially
causing inflation is unethical?
what?
Yeah, I mean, because you were
Biden?
talking about character, like ethics and morality. What does economic policy from Biden have to do with this?
Because Trump showed in his 4 years that he was for the people, but Biden, he didn't make any statements that showed that he was more for the people than I thought Trump would do.
Yeah, no,
And,
I
I'm
hear
from
you.
the South, so
I hear you.
a lot of South-sided people.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So first, we're just going to go ahead and shut down the claim that he is more for the people and has more ethics and morality. So Donald Trump is a rapist. Kamala Harris is not. Donald Trump is racist. Kamala Harris is not. Donald Trump is xenophobic as well as misogynistic. Kamala Harris is not. In 2015, he tried to ban all new Muslims coming into America religious persecutor. Kamala Harris is not. Today, he wants to personally go into the Gaza Strip and ethnically cleanse 2.1 million Palestinians, relocating them to Jordan and Egypt, and then build a Riviera to give to Israel. That is not a plan that Kamala Harris had. Not to mention, he's sexualized his own daughter. Kamala Harris is not. He has boasted about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls. Kamala Harris has not. When you sit here and you tell me that he has more and better morality than Kamala Harris, it makes me think, what the hell has happened to our country to lead so many Americans so astray? It's propaganda. Now, to get back to your point of economic policy under the Biden-Harris administration and how it was not for the people, go ahead and tell me one bad policy the Biden-Harris administration influenced to get passed through Congress and signed into law.
It was just the ice cream for me, man. I'm not a fan of Rocky Road.
Okay, well, should I take that as a concession? Like, realistically, that's what it is, right? Make a joke out of it now that you've lost? Yeah, you left. Okay. Go ahead and spam MAGA down below in that chat if you did vote for Trump and you do want to join. And if you're one of the 4.1 thousand people watching, make sure that you're double tapping on that phone screen, you guys. Let's try to get up to 500,000 likes while we get that next guest up in here. We got the next guest streamer Cat loading in right now. Keep in mind, if you want to support me, you could support me through Venmo and PayPal, found in the link tree in the bio, or over on YouTube Super Chat. All of the proceeds go straight to me and you'll get a shout out. What is up, Cat? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did. How's it going, Dean?
It's just going phenomenal. Why?
I'm a huge fan, and I've been trying to get up here for months.
Why would you be a fan of somebody that vehemently disagrees with everything you stand behind?
Just because I've been watching you and Parker and forever. I stopped watching Harry, though, because, so.
Okay, interesting. Tobias, thank you so much for the $11 over on Venmo. I want to see at least 100 W's for Tobias down below in that chat. Thank you so much for the love. Huge shout out, Tobias. Why'd you do it? Why'd you vote for Trump?
So, I was hoping that Trump would make the inflation go away because he said he would make gas prices cheaper and groceries.
He said he'd get rid of inflation.
Oh, okay. But yeah, everything has gone up.
Right.
So
do you regret your vote?
yeah, but can you tell me why that happened? Because I don't get politics that much.
Why? What has happened?
Like how prices have gone up on everything when he promised they would go down.
Well, I mean, I think that we see like a lot of economic turmoil right now because of his tariffs. A, tariffs are inflationary. Then B, they just really fuck with consumer confidence in the markets, which has caused really quick, sharp, and fast free falls in American markets. The quickest free falls we've seen since 2008. As far as like prices going up, like eggs, that doesn't really have anything to do with the Trump administration. That's more so that the fact that we had to kill a bunch of birds because of the bird flu. Thanks for the question, though. We're going to move on to the next guest. We got that next guest loading into the live right now. Everyone just give us a minute. Christina, hello. Did you vote for Trump? Oh, Christina is not here, and Christina left. So right now, we have 4.5 thousand people watching the TikTok stream. Thanks for being here. But we only have, 20 people in the guest request? That's a little crazy. What's up, Patch? Did you vote for Trump?
Yo.
Okay. We kicked him. Hey, Isaac, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did actually.
Isaac, why the hell? Why the hell did you do that? I'm gonna get aggressive. Why the fuck did you do that?
Well, first of all, I had a question for you. This is the last guy who said he regretted his vote. Just like we talk about tariffs, right? And yes, we do see an increase in prices. But in the long term run, wouldn't that make things cheaper economy wise?
I'm unconvinced that tariffs are good for the economy in the long term. The only reason I say that is because it shifts our focus away from comparative advantage, and we're no longer producing what we're good at producing, but rather focusing on producing everything, which creates a lot of inefficiencies, not to mention that even if they were good for our manufacturing sector in the long term, there's other things that are better, like subsidizing corporate America so they could focus on increasing their productive capacities to make more goods for cheaper while paying their employees more. That is a significantly better approach. So are tariffs the reason you voted for Trump?
No, not necessarily.
So what's the reason you voted for Trump?
It's more just the leadership aspect of it.
What about the leadership? Like the whole having signal group chats to discuss confidential war plans and accidentally adding in reporters from the Atlantic? That leadership?
No, not necessarily. Great. He just seems very confident in the things he says, and
well, that's not always good.
Yeah, I will agree with that. It's not always good. I don't think I don't think anyone's perfect, but I think I just was more swayed towards his leadership position.
Okay, why?
rather
Like
than
because he's more
others.
confident in the things that he says?
Not necessarily that he's more confident, but like he's backed it. Like I don't know, maybe I'm just on the more on the right spectrum than I am the left.
Oh, so you're just
But
saying that you voted for him because he's a Republican? So party.
no,
So
no, not by any means. But like I've just like seen being on social media and having seen like clips or whatever you want to call it. Like I'm just not super familiar with what the left stands for, and I'm always open to conversation and like
okay,
asking
so you're just
questions.
unfamiliar with what Kamala Harris's policy was, but you knew more about Trump's. What was your favorite Trump policy?
The minimizing illegal immigration because I've had family
Okay.
harassed before
Yeah.
due to that.
Well, first of all, undocumented migrants are 2 times less likely to commit a violent crime compared to citizens. Second of all, what causes undocumented migration into America?
That I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's really bad legal means of entry. The only reason people enter illegally is because they can't enter legally, because the legal means of migration are either too expensive or take too long. The only way to reduce undocumented migration into America in the long term is to make the legal means of entry into America better. Has Donald Trump ever tried to do that?
That I'm unfamiliar with, if I'm being totally honest.
The answer is no. What does that answer tell us about Trump? It's that he doesn't really care about undocumented migration, and he's not taken any steps to offer a real solution for long-term success.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Donald Trump has never tried to make the legal means of entry into America better, even though that is the ultimate cause of undocumented entry. That means that Donald Trump doesn't really cause about undocumented migration because he's never done anything to reduce it in the long term.
So like when we talk about like I'm not super familiar with the process, but I do know that it's a long process, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
you have
doesn't need
stories
to be a
about it,
long
and you can read
process.
up on it as well. But like, how would you go about that? Like, I mean, because obviously these things aren't cheap, right? Becoming a citizen isn't cheap.
Make it cheap.
Like, how would we, like, I don't know, like you just touched on it a second ago. Like, it's an expensive process for someone to come over.
Yeah, make it less expensive and make it faster.
But like, how would that like cut the cost of spending or, profits like elsewhere? Because it costs.
Yeah,
Like, how would
it costs more to make them faster and less expensive. It costs much more. Our government would be spending much more money on immigration.
to make the process faster?
Oh yeah, but that's a good thing.
How so?
Because immigrants are productive providers into the American economy. It's an investment for a long-term yield.
I can agree with that. So I can agree with that, but like my thing is like
Like if
like
you
the
care about
gang violence
like
and the,
expensive
like trafficking, yeah, like so that's where like my big takeaway on it is like the violence, the harassment, the sexual harassment, the
Bro, you voted for
trafficking.
Whoa. I want to clarify. Not only did you vote for a sexual harasser, you voted for a sexual abuser, and that was adjudicated and proven by a court. Do you really care about sexual misconduct all too much?
I honestly do, and I grew up religious, so I do believe in, and say what you will, so say what you want, but I do believe in seeing the better side of things and seeking forgiveness, and I won't say that completely justifies it.
Whoa! So when an undocumented migrant does it, yeah, they need to be sent out of the country. But
No,
when
I'm not
Donald
saying-
Trump does it, yeah, we need to make him our president.
But my thing is like, he's a big, like Donald Trump's like, he's out there, right? Like, how can we for sure like keep tabs on, let's say like an MS-13 member who says that, they are changing their ways and then they go out and do it again.
What are you saying?
Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's
Also, do we understand that undocumented migrants are 2 times less likely than you to commit violent crimes? Should your deportation take a great precedent as you are statistically much more likely to engage in those actions?
I'm not familiar with that statistic, so.
Oh, it's coming from PNAS. PNAS has been tracking violent crime arrests and convictions in America since the 19th century. What do they tell us? Undocumented migrants are among one of the least likely demographics in America to commit crime, regardless of the type of crime it is. I happen to be specifying violent ones.
Okay. I want to look more into that then.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I like the conversation. Like I'm always asking questions. You know, I'm never
Yeah.
super confident. You know, I'm not skilled in this. This isn't my forte like you. So, but I appreciate your time, Dean.
Yeah. Isaac, I appreciate your time as well, and I hope that you have a good rest of your night. Have a good one.
Yep.
We're going to move on to the next guest. All right, Sean with a $5 super chat saying, in religion, you have to ask for forgiveness and repent for your sins. Trump has never done this. And yeah, in fact, he says he's never done this. In fact, he boasts the fact that he's never done that. Fun fact, quite frankly, moving on. Here we go. All right, next guest is loading into the live as we speak. If you're watching and you voted for Trump, hop in that queue. Very simple. McKenna, thank you for the $1 of Venmo. Next guest is loading up. Next guest right now. Coming into the live for a debate. That's right. So true. Cassandra is loading up in. Well, look at that. We got all these people loaded into the live. Ashton, what's going on, man? Did you vote for Trump? Oh, he left. He left rather quickly, too. Hello, Callie. Did you vote for Trump?
Hi.
Hi, did you vote
Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm going to take that as a no. You did not vote for Trump, right, Callie?
No, I didn't vote for Trump, but
I'm so sorry. We're just looking to debate people that did. Have a good one, Callie. Have a good one, quite frankly. Yeah. Yeah. British. Hello, J-Boy. Did you vote for Trump? Oh, you didn't mean to request? No worries, man. We'll move on. Thanks for letting me know. If you're watching, make sure you're double tapping on that phone screen. You know, we're at 350,000 likes. That's crazy. Good job, guys. What's up? Did you vote for Trump? Nope. Katie, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo for the Elevation Fund. I appreciate you for that. That is very kind. Huge shout out to Katie. And huge shout out to Brian for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Holy crap, Brian. Thank you. Brian says, thank you, Dean, for what you do. It helps me keep learning. Brian, I appreciate you for the kind message and the donation. 200 W Brian's in the chats right now. Caleb, hello. Did you vote for Trump?
No.
Then fuck off. Yeah. Moving on. Here we go. Yo, CHUNEY with a motorcycle. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that. What's up? Did you vote for Trump, Cassandra? Oh, Cassandra.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. She spoke right as I kicked her. Oh, man. Oh, rats. Come on, dude. Really? I'm so sorry. Hello, Bryson. Did you vote for Trump? I find a
I vote for Trump, yes.
You did. Bryson, give me a minute. Why the hell did you vote for the worst president of your life? Aura.
Because he knows what he's doing with the country. What are you talking about? Worst president.
Did he know what he was
He's
doing?
gonna fix it up, dude.
Did he know what he was doing with the country when he added the head reporter from The Atlantic into a private signal group chat to discuss wartime and military technique? Yeah. Did he know what he was doing with the country when he imposed tariffs and then took them
course he
off,
did.
and then
He's
imposed
Donald
tariffs
J.
and took them
Trump.
off, and then imposed tariffs and then took them off, and then just kind of
You
repeated
know
himself?
what?
No.
He knows what he's doing.
Oh, Bryson,
When
you're
he's
cutting out.
getting these immigrants out of the country.
Oh, wow. Hey, give me.
He knows what he's doing.
Give me one reason why mass deportation is better than mass amnesty.
Well, I don't know why you got to use these big words. Let's just keep it simple, okay?
Mass deportation is a big word?
No, that's not the word I'm talking about. You're talking about animosity or something.
Not animosity, amnesty. So I'll make it simple.
Potato, potato.
No, amnesty does not mean the same thing as animosity. Those are two separate, distinct words with their own separate, distinct definitions, Bryson. I will, however, explain it to you in a way that does not use the word amnesty, and I think that's fine for you to request. So, tell me one reason why mass deportation makes more sense than giving undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship.
Because they came here illegally.
Hey, Bryson, do you agree with Donald Trump getting
It's
rid
right
of...
there. It's right there. I mean,
Hey, Bryson, do you agree with Donald Trump getting rid of the Department of Education?
well, yeah, he's gonna like turn it inside out and he's gonna fix it, you know?
Okay. Why do you agree? No, he's not fixing anything. He's just getting rid of it. He doesn't think we need it. Why do you agree with him getting rid of the Department of Education?
How would
Bryson?
you know? How would you know?
Because he made an executive order getting rid of the Department of Education.
I'm pretty sure education is still there, buddy. It's all state dependent, correct?
Yeah, now it's just completely state dependent with no oversight from the federal government. So why do you support him getting rid of the Department of Education?
Well, yeah. Why do you want to support that? I don't, but I do. Okay?
What?
You're trying to confuse me here.
I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm just asking you why you support Donald Trump getting rid of the Department of Education.
Because he's going to build it new.
Okay, no, he's not, Bryson. No, he's not building anything in its place. Once again, he's just getting rid of it.
No, he's got Elon working on it, dude.
So Elon is okay. Get out.
Seriously.
Get out. I'm torturing myself. Leave. Get out, please. Okay. Next guess. I'm so sorry. I'm torturing myself. Not cool. Not cool at all. Moving on. Next guess. Get the hell out. Hello, Luke. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Why'd you do it?
Well, I mean, I voted because of no more males in female sports, but I want to get back to the Department of Education because I did think that was
Real quick. We cannot talk about trans issues on TikTok Live. You'll get banned. I'll get banned. We'll all get banned. We'll all have a bad day. But I hope that 10 people in the NCAA wasn't the biggest reason you voted for him, right?
No, it wasn't the biggest reason, but like, you know, I also did know about that trans thing about TikTok. That was just one of the bigger reasons why.
So what was
the main reason? The border.
Okay, what about it?
Not allowing so many people through. Like, listen, I'm not naive enough to say we don't need immigration, and I do agree that the immigration laws should be easier for people to get through. I think it's 7 years off the top of my head. That's overkill, if you ask me. But I don't think we should be just opening up the border and saying, come through, come through, come through. Because that's basically what Biden did.
Huh. Dude, how did Biden do that?
Didn't he just... He opened up the border and, like, within the span of 2 weeks, like 8 million people got through.
What the fuck, dude? What?
I'm pretty sure,
what are you saying? Where do you get this shit from? Where do you get this shit from? Like, unironically, where do you get this fucking brain rot from?
Kirk told you that at Jubilee.
Dude, Kirk also said that he wouldn't trust a black pilot. I'm not so sure he's a reputable standard of truth.
Yeah, because United Airlines said that they're trying to put a racial quote on the pilots they hire. Buddy, I'm black and I disagree with that.
So you're telling me if you boarded a plane and the pilot was black, you would feel unsafe?
I'm not saying I would feel unsafe because they still need to meet.
Great. Well, that's like literally what he fucking said. That's literally what he said. That's literally what he said. That's literally. Thank you, because that is what he said. Thank you. Now, are you telling me that Kirk is your source?
I watch a lot of Kirk. He kicked Parker's ass in Jubilee.
Funny. Not true. Question. If you were debating a liberal on another live and a liberal made a claim and you were like, why do you think that? And then they were just like, well, Dean said so. What would your response be?
I would try and figure out where you said it.
But you would dispute the fact that they just use another human's word of mouth as evidence, right?
Not necessarily if I can figure out where it is. If I can't figure out where it is,
okay,
then...
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you can use large, like, people in the politosphere as sources for their claims. So, fuck you. You're wrong because I, Dean Withers, say so.
Sure. Sure.
yeah,
What-
bud.
whatever
What
you-
now?
Whatever you want to say,
Yeah,
Dean.
yeah,
Whatever you
bud.
wanna say.
What's the counter argument now, yo? Because if you're gonna accept and appeal to authority fallacy is being a reputable tactic to deploy
I
in a
remember
debate.
watching the.
I am the authority there. Okay,
also
I'm the
remember
authority, and I'm the authority. Dean Withers, say you're wrong.
Dean, I also remembered watching the video on Jubilee, and they had actual statistics on the bottom. So even if I was using Charlie Kirk's word of mouth, which okay, fine, I insinuated I was.
How about this? I have a really easy way for you to prove your claim accurate, right?
Google it.
No, you said that Biden opened the border and let 8 million people in. He'd have to do that with a policy through Congress or an executive order. Name the policy or executive order.
Kamala ran the border. I don't know who did. I don't know where it would have been.
So there's going to be a policy or an executive order, right?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to
Right, yeah,
Kamala
you don't
with the
know
border.
shit. Kamala Harris didn't run the fucking border. Another fake claim. Oh, look at this. Dean's going to ask you for evidence, and Luke's going to be like, oh, I can't give you any.
She quite literally, that was her only fucking job, was running the border.
Great, then you should be able to give me a source that shows that Kamala Harris was in charge of the border, right?
I'm kind of making a pot of craft dinner right now. I only have one free hand.
Dude, are you trolling?
No, I'm dead serious. I'm so dead serious. I have a pot of craft dinner on the stove right now.
Okay. All right. Listen, here's the facts. You're just saying shit to say it, and I think that's annoying. I think it's a waste of time. Do you have an argument that you could justify with use of evidence?
Well, listen, I didn't even want to talk about the border. I wanted to talk about the Department of Education.
I think that instead of talking about the Department of Education, you should get an education. Good first step. Goodbye, Luke.
I have one.
Jennifer, thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love, Jennifer, everybody. I want everyone to show some love to Jennifer. Thank you so much. Everyone, please show some love to Jennifer. That is so incredibly kind, Jennifer. That is insane. Thank you so much. Jennifer says, hey, Dean, caught your MSNBC last night and you did such a wonderful job. It's so great that legacy media is starting to take digital creators and debaters such as yourself seriously. Hope they reach out to you more. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Jennifer. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I had a blast popping up on MSNBC last night. And honestly, the panel was awesome, and I just wasn't expecting that conversation out of a legacy media news source. It was like pretty far left leaning, like farther left than the DNC, which I thought was just really surprising to have on legacy media. That was pretty cool. I won't lie. We're going to go to get that next guest up here at this point right now, y'all. So if you are watching live, make sure that you're double tapping. It's 5:30. Maybe I'll be on for about another 30 minutes. If you're watching the live right now and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and the PayPal on top of the phone screen. Joe, did you vote for Trump? You like a Minecraft villager? Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. We got Jack loading up into the live. There's a Minecraft villager chat. Hello, Jack. Did you vote for Trump?
Can I have one question for you? Can I have a debate for
Assuming that means no. Moving on. Quite frankly. Here we go. Everyone, just give us a moment. Here we go, chat. Christina! Hi, Christina. Okay, Christina left. Okay, yeah, fuck you, Christina. I'm just kidding. Moving on. Jackson's loading up. I'm getting a little bit tired of this game. This game is getting old. This game of, like, constantly cycling people in and out just for no one to be a Trump voter. It's getting to me, Chad. It's going to break me.
Dean, you're so fucking hot.
Delete your phone. Just delete the whole thing. Not even just the app, but just like the whole phone. Like just delete the whole phone.
Oh, Dean, you're so hot. Oh, Dean. Oh, I'm busting. Stay right there. Stay right there, Dean.
We're going to go and move on to the next guest. Jamie, thank you for the $5 donation on PayPal for the Grifter funds. I'm going to use that to buy a steak later. Thank you, Jamie. The Grifter funds will be towards a steak. Maybe also a nice drink. I feel like I need a drink right now. Of course, it'll be...
What's going on, Dean? How you doing today?
Doing all right, man. Of course, it'll be non-alcoholic. Obviously. Hello, Optimus. Did you vote for Trump?
Oh, yes, sir, I did.
Do you like to hunt?
Excuse me?
Do you like to hunt? You look like a hunter.
No, I don't like to hunt. That's just the background.
Okay. Actually, I think that there's a way that I could like show you on
Do that.
the YouTube live stream. Yo, this
Up
will
a butt. Come on. Up a butt.
this will be pretty cool. Wait, a lot of people are saying no, not him. Have you talked to Parker?
No, you don't want to debate?
Did you talk to Parker?
I did. Yeah, me and him had a great debate.
According to the people in chat, you two did not have a great debate.
Yeah, we did have a fantastic debate.
Okay.
I don't know. He booted me because we started talking about education. That's what I wanted to talk about with you. I've been trying to hear your perspective.
On the Department of Education?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, my perspective is that I'm probably not like nearly educated enough on the functions of the Federal Department of Education to have a conversation about that specifically. What I can say is that no, Donald Trump will not be able to end up getting rid of the Department of Education, and even Fox News agrees with me. So seemingly it's just dead in the water.
So you think he's going to revamp it or try to reform it? Is that what would that be appropriate in your opinion? Do you think that the education department is a successful entity?
No, he's just like literally going to try to get rid of it, but then he won't be able to get rid of it because it would require a majority approval from Congress. Sir, did you do a Yahtzee salute?
No. I was showing Parker what Elon was doing. Did they say Elon did that, or did they say he did not do that? Everybody said he didn't. He said he didn't. Why are you putting words in that man's mouth?
So repeat that. I'm lost. I'm also trying to do two things at once. Probably.
We were talking about Elon Musk. Do you support what Elon Musk is doing with the government?
Do I support what Elon Musk is doing with the government? I don't. Sorry, for everyone watching on YouTube right now, I'm just making it so you can see the guests. So just give me a second. I don't support like 99% of the things that Elon Musk is doing for the government. Just give me 1 second. I'm just seriously making it right now so my viewers over on YouTube could actually see you. I don't know why I haven't tried to do this before, so this is actually pretty cool. But I'm now screen grabbing your little box and putting it on the YouTube stream. Chat, that's new. How do you feel about that, you guys? Being able to see the guest over on YouTube. That's pretty cool. Okay, so, go. Let's just start from the top. We'll get there. Why did you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump because I feel like he brings the sensible approach in our country. We've come a far way from actually making policies that help everybody versus just trying to go and do things that are not even in our realm of. For example, Joe Biden would rather put people in positions in his cabinet that are diverse versus putting them in the cabinet based off of their merit.
Like who?
Did you see the Department of Health? Did you see that lady?
Oh my God! Wait, yeah, the fucking doctor, that went to school for 12 years with medical degrees. Hey, I have a question.
Cool. That's
what
amazing.
are they?
That's amazing that she went to school. I'm not knocking her
Stop.
Give
me a minute. What are the qualifications of the current head of the Department of Health, Mr. RFK Jr.?
RFK is one of the most amazing men that our country has had. He's a lawyer, a civil rights lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
He's helped. No, he's actually sued Donald Trump. So if you want to, he'll actually check and balance.
I just answer my question. What are RFK's qualifications?
I just told you.
Being a lawyer.
He's a civil rights lawyer. He's a lawyer. He knows how to approach. He's sued these companies before.
Okay, so I just have a question. Wait, just give me a minute. Based on merit, who's more qualified for the position of the head of health? A lawyer or a doctor?
Well, obviously, a doctor who's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what,
So Biden's pick was more qualified based on merit
hey,
than Trump's.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because you're looking at doctor as a general state. And you think Joe Biden could have did the Department of Health?
Jill, I don't know enough about Jill to make that qualification. I asked you, just listen to me. I asked you to name one cabinet members of Biden that was not placed there because of their just let me speak, because of their qualifications.
I'm not saying that they're not qualified.
Just allow me to speak, but rather because of like diversity. And then you tell me the lady that had served as the head of the Department of Health. That's fucking funny that you brought that point up because once again, she was a doctor. Meanwhile, Trump's pick is a lawyer. Obviously, the doctor is more qualified to speak on health than the lawyer. And additionally, you may say that Joe Biden had DEI picks, which is false. But you know what Trump has? DUI picks. You want to talk about Mr. Pete Hegseth, the Fox Entertainer Network broadcaster that is now in charge of our DOD? Do you want to talk about this? How this guy has no fucking qualifications outside of a DUI or two, and he's so bad at his job because of his lack of qualifications that he accidentally added a reporter from the Atlantic into a Signal group chat where him and the vice president were discussing confidential private wartime plans. You want to talk about that? Oh my God, terrible.
I think that's a poor breach of poor breach of security. And look, what you do is you learn. That's the thing, Dean. I know that it's hard to understand, but people make mistakes and you learn from those mistakes. Many people on the left have made so many mistakes. That's why you lost in November.
Wait, no. The reason that the Democrats lost in November was because the average American citizen associated the inflation in America in the last 4 years that was caused by the pandemic with being caused by the presidency. I don't think that the Democrat Party is to blame for this, as this was a global phenomena. 2024 was a huge election year on the global stage, and it is typically the case that the incumbency will win. However, in 2024, it was actually very rare that the incumbency won because people across the globe associated the pandemic and the inflation in which it caused with the administration. So that's false. I want to ask you, though, about Elon Musk. Do you think that Elon Musk did a Yahtzee salute?
No, I don't. That's what he said. He didn't do it. So I'm going to take the man for his word. When I seen, he looked like he was just saying, my heart goes out to you. But globally speaking, when Joe Biden was president, we were being the laughingstock of our country.
Okay, we'll talk about Joe Biden. One moment, stop. We'll talk about Joe Biden and the laughingstock next. You don't think that he did the Yahtzee salute? Do you think that what he did resembled the Yahtzee salute at all?
I would say that it was definitely a little bit like, well, is he? You think he's doing it? No, I don't think he would do that. I think he was just saying like, my heart genuinely goes out to you.
Great. So do it.
Because you guys made a big stink out of it. Well, if you guys wouldn't have made a stink out of it, I don't think that we would have got to this point.
Hey, sir, can you give your heart out to me? If that's just a very common form of endearment. Can you give your heart to me?
Why do you guys keep trying to solicit you and Parker? But I'm trying to show you guys. I tried to show Parker that that's not against the law to do that. Is that against the law to do that?
It's not against the law to say the N-word. Should you say the N-word?
No, it.
Right. Thank you.
That's not the same argument. That's like comparing apples and oranges.
I just have a question.
Is that how you? Is that what you think?
Will you give your heart out to your employer?
No, but I think that globally...
Wait, you don't want to show love to your employer? You don't want to give your heart out to them? But they're great. They give you money to live and thrive.
Are we trying to have a civilized conversation about policy and where we're going in the world? Or are we trying to raise debate and play games, man?
Well, it's not a game to ask you to do what Elon did if you don't think he did anything wrong.
I know, but I'm actually trying to listen to
I think the fact that you don't want to... I think the fact that you're not willing... I think the fact that
best for our country.
I think the fact that you're not willing to do what Elon Musk did demonstrates to me and everyone else watching this live that although you may explicitly state that Elon Musk did nothing wrong and what he did not resemble anything wrong, inside you know that you're lying. And the fact that you won't do what Elon Musk did proves it. So, sir, thank you for the concession.
Concession? How is that a concession? Look, if I'm trying to
Because if you
explain,
genuinely believe that there was nothing wrong with what Elon Musk did and it didn't resemble anything that was
but that's the
wrong,
thing. You see how did you see your chat? I tried to show. I did it with Parker. I even went like this with my heart, bro. I was like, my heart goes out to you, and that's what he did. And you guys are pitting me, trying to say that I'm, you know what I'm saying, that he's did this. Why do you believe that? You don't even know me. Ask me what I think. I might believe a little bit just like how you do, man. I'm a centered person. I used to be on the left, man, for a long time.
okay, let me ask you, what is the Nazi salute?
It's the hell. What's his name? Salute. Nobody worries about him.
Well, I'm happy that you didn't say the Yale Yitler line on my live, but
I got you, man.
it's also
Yeah,
very
I'm a
sad that you don't
respectful
even
individual,
know.
man. Hey,
It's also very
Dean,
sad
I'm a
that you don't
respectful
even know his
individual, man. It's
name.
a pleasure to meet your-
I mean,
meet your
it's great.
acquaintance, man.
It's great that you didn't say it, but like the fact that you didn't know his name. Oh man, okay.
But what would you say? Would you say that we were more respected on the global stage when Trump was in office versus when Joe was in there, or even I think we're more respected now even than when Obama was in office?
You're joking.
I'm serious, man.
There's no way you actually believe that. Obama compared to
Exactly.
Trump now?
What Obama told everybody to vote for Kamala, and look what happened.
Listen, name one world leader that respects Trump more than Obama. By the way, your only answer is Putin.
I told you he respects him because he knows he's better than him. Obama knows
Name
that
one world
that
leader.
Trump is better than him.
Name one world leader that respects Trump more than Obama.
Probably Duterte in Venezuela. I don't know.
I know for a fact that the leaders of Venezuela are very unhappy with Trump right now. Donald Trump is reenacting the alien.
25%.
One moment, just let me speak. Let me speak. The Alien Enemies Act of the 18th century to strip due process away from any and all Venezuelan migrants, label them as a member of a gang without evidence, and deport them to Venezuela. There's no way the leadership of Venezuela is happy with Trump. So tell me, what is one world leader that respects Trump more than Obama? I mean, if you think that he just, demands so much more respect, why can't you name one world leader?
A lot of world leaders respect him.
So just give me an example of one that respects Trump more than Obama.
I mean, I would say the French leader. What's his name? The little guy. What's his name? The little dude.
Macron has publicly laughed.
Macron, there he
jeered-
is.
No. Macron.
He respects him.
No,
What
he
do you
doesn't.
mean?
Macron has publicly laughed, jeered, and made fun of Trump. Like, you could go to Macron's Twitter account and find a video of him making fun of Donald Trump with Donald Tusk, the leader of Poland.
But just because you make fun of somebody, that doesn't mean that that's bullying. That's why he gets you guys better, because he's better than you with his works. That's where you guys lack his works.
Do bullies respect the bullied?
Bullies only respect the bigger bully.
Do bullies do bullies bully the bigger bully?
Do bullies bully the bigger bully? Yeah, I mean, if they all gang up, kind of like what you guys do with the world leaders.
Did you just call Trump a bully?
Yeah, big time.
Do you respect bullies? I don't respect bullies.
I only respect bullies who fight for the right thing.
Well, if they fight for the right thing, then hell, they're not a bully.
No, they are a bully. They're still a bully. They are a bully, though.
Crazy. No, they're not. I have a question. Where like the freedom fighters during like the American Civil War that fought for black individuals to have human rights, were they bullies just because?
No, they were Republicans.
And what did the Republican Party stand for at the time of the Civil War? Was it liberalism or conservatism?
It was definitely liberalism. Yeah.
Liberalism. I have a question.
Yeah, exactly.
What does the Republican Party stand for today? Liberalism or conservatism?
Definitely liberalism more than you think. What is your term? What is your definition of a liberal?
Wait. So conservatives.
What's your definition of a liberal? Give me your
Um,
definition.
Okay, well, listen, it's a little bit hard to define. I conceive of like
Okay, so it's hard to define.
but I'm going to give you a
Explain.
definition nonetheless, a working definition. I think like liberalism in like a progressive sense, like you fight for new values that are better than the values in which you've traditionally held or hold today, that better serve towards, like any particular end goal, like the flourishment of humanity, etc. Meanwhile, conservatism is going to be the conservation of traditional beliefs. As it would apply to this conversation, you told me that it's the Republican Party that fought for the end of slavery. Well, at the conception of the Republican Party, the Republicans were the progressives. The Republicans were the liberals. Today, the Republicans are the conservatives. Keep in mind, when the Republican Party was formed, it was formed as a protest against the conservatives. So in saying that the Republican Party is deserving of glory for upholding values to end slavery in America, those values are the values in which are now held by the left, definitionally speaking. You are proud to call yourself a conservative, but conservative values, the conservation of traditionalism, were the values that the Republican Party fought during the
But the
Civil War.
Republicans won just like how they won back then. We won now. Same thing. We're the winners. It's flipped upside down. I know it used to, but see, here's
Hey
the
man,
thing: is things cycle.
I know you think that you won and you know I lost. So I'll agree. I also know I lost, but I know that you lost too. America lost, man. It wasn't just me. And that's the perspective that I want to leave with you. And I want to leave with every other Trump supporter watching this live. You can clap and jeer and think that you won, but you're not winning when our country's barreling towards a recession. You're not winning when we have the quickest drops in our stock market since the 2008 recession. You're not winning when now all of our allies don't fuck with us, when we're distancing ourselves from the EU, the UN, and NATO, growing closer only to world leaders like Putin. You're not winning in this scenario. Your wallet's not winning. If you have any women in your life that you care about, they're not winning, meaning you're not winning, because you should, care about that fact. Our country's not winning. Our GDP's not winning. Our relationships aren't winning. Our allies aren't winning. In what sense are we winning?
Well, we're actually not sleeping like Joe Biden was. He was sleeping at the wheel, man. I can tell you that much. Did you talk to Joe Biden?
I have, yeah.
What did he tell you, Dean?
A story about his grandparents.
That's awesome, man. That's amazing. Well, the rest of the country, we didn't get to talk to him, man. The rest of the country, we seen a man that was downhill. Nobody wanted to say nothing, and we feel like that was a wrong thing to do. You would have won had you put maybe if you I'm a winner, so and Trump is a winner. If I was you, listen, this is what I would have did. I would have told Joe, you got to resign, and then she would have became president, and then you would have had a better chance of actually saying, look, this is our president. She's taking care of, had those relations. Would you agree that would have been a good idea?
It should have definitely been an idea that was considered. Question: you said that Biden was asleep the whole time. Does this mean that Donald Trump is woke?
That's hilarious. That was a good punchline, man. I appreciate you for that. That was cool.
I mean, seemingly, like you're like being asleep is losing, so being awake is winning, right?
I would definitely say being woke is winning, right? But in today's age,
being woke is right. Being
I'm
woke is right.
I'm repurposing woke for us, right? Just like how you said that the Republicans used to be, the good guys. It's the same thing, right? I'm gonna say woke is a good thing, but you can see the MAGA woke versus the liberal woke.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. What's your favorite Trump policy?
My favorite Trump policy is strong borders.
Okay, strong borders.
Security.
One moment.
Yeah.
Strong borders is two words, one following another. Name a policy.
What do you mean, man? His stand. Yeah, I'm talking about his stances on the border.
Okay, what are they?
It's to deport people who are here illegally.
That's actually not a stance on the border. That's
amazing, man. That's wonderful.
Bro, how did you fuck up the answer to that question? That's not a border policy. Mass deportation is not a border policy. Sure, it's an immigration policy. Yes, It's not a border
Yeah.
policy.
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's the only thing wrong with that answer in response to the question that I asked is
Do you
it's
want
not a border
do you want
policy.
people do you want people who
Wait, I'm so
who
sorry. Can we just
who are in
leave?
this country illegally to be usurping your resources and do you want them to be
Usurping resources? Really?
yeah,
What
yeah, did you
resources do undocumented
yeah.
migrants usurp?
Brother, I work in the recovery industry. We need people who are on the streets to be housed. But instead we have a migrant crisis that people haven't taken care of, i.e. Kamala Harris.
What did you just call her?
Kamala.
Kamala?
Yeah, that's how the Indians say it, right? Kamala.
What the fuck are you saying, white boy? What the fuck are you saying? Jesus Christ, what the hell? Where did that one come from? Kamala Harris's name is pronounced as Kamala. Shut your racist ass up. Sorry, I meant to. Wow, that was a Freudian slip. In all reality, I did not mean to call him racist. Wow, that was the first Freudian slip I've ever had. I didn't mean to say that word. Like, sure, it's true. I actually didn't mean to say that. Let me repeat myself. I didn't mean to say that. I knew what I wanted to say in my head. That's actually not the sentence I wanted to speak.
I hope you have a great rest of your day.
The sentence I wanted to say was shut your white ass up. Stop dishing strays to Indian individuals. Kamala Harris's name is pronounced as Kamala.
Like I said, have a great day, man.
Yeah, get out of here. But like, I had that was my first Freudian slip. I've never experienced that. The caller was running. Wow, man, that was a new experience for me. Wow, very interesting. I guess Freudian slips do happen. All right, we're gonna get that next guest up here. Everyone, just give us a minute. For everyone watching over on YouTube, I mean, you'll see that down in that corner. You just kind of got my hand right now, but that's where the guest is. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all. If you are watching the stream, guys, make sure that you're double tapping on that phone screen. If you want to support me, my Venmo and my PayPal are at the top of the phone screen right there. If you're watching over on YouTube, they're in the pinned message, as well as you can support me over on Super Chat. And I do appreciate all of the donors. Quite frankly, you'll get a shout out. 100% of the proceeds go to me to support the stream. That's awesome. And go ahead and spam MAGA down below in that chat if you do want to join, everybody. Go ahead and spam MAGA down below in that chat if you do want to join, as we are just looking for debates. Moving on. Here we go. Who's next? Everybody, what is going on? Too cool for this app. Did you vote for Trump?
W Din in the chat, please. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Yeah, I appreciate you for the love. Next guest is loading up. If you're one of the 7,000 people watching, make sure that you're double tapping on that phone screen for me right now, quite frankly. Next guest is loading in. We just got to get him up here. By the way, we're going to be live for around another 20 to 30 minutes. And as soon as we get off, I am going to make some dinner. I'm quite hungry. That's right. Nardo, what's up? Did he vote for Trump? Okay, they're just simply not. Oh, Nardo, hello. Are you here?
I love Donald Trump.
Okay, why did you vote for him?
Of course.
How old are you? As a kid. All right, moving on to our next guest, Daniel. Hello, did you vote for Trump?
Fuck you.
Boo, stay mad. This is where you run away. T-Law, I know that you're going to run, right?
Nah,
Why are you so pressed, man?
I'm not pressed.
Yeah, you just said, like, fuck you. Of course, that's what a sad, whiny, emotional man would say. Come on.
Nah.
Okay, are you really going to, like, back down now? You're going to come up here with the alpha male strength, but then just back down when I'm like, why the hell are you mad?
How am I backing down?
Because your energy, when you first joined, was literally, fuck you. But then I'm like, bro, what the hell's going on? Are you okay? What's wrong?
I'm not even American.
Obviously, you're from Britain. That doesn't mean I can't ask you why the fuck you're so emotional. Okay, Brits can be emotional too.
Nah, you just got all these woke gay boys in the comments, bro.
Yeah, nobody thinks more about gay sex than conservative men. Yeah, also, can we get a W woke, quote unquote, gay boys? Let's get a W, all right, for every single one of y'all watching. Big W to you, okay? WU, let's fucking go. What's up, Sean? Did you vote for Trump?
I did. Hey, sorry for earlier. I was driving and lost service. But all right. So, real quick, let me preface by saying, have you ever seen the movie Good Will Hunting?
I mean, I obviously know what it is. I don't know if I've watched the whole thing. I probably did when I was
You should
younger.
check it out. It's, I mean, a lot of Emmy Awards anyway. How old are you, Dean?
Me, I'm 20.
20. So you're obviously, I would say you're above average educated for your age, especially for this country. Actually, for the world, I would say, in terms of your understanding of political aspects and knowledge, so on and so forth. But what I will tell you, little history about me. First generation male, lives in Texas, Navy brat. My mom's was moved here when she was 18 from Peru to Florida. Met my father, right? She came here under a visa, got her citizenship the right way, right? Worked her way up to where she is now, making very good money. Spoke no English, had to learn English watching cartoons,
Okay.
right?
So, why'd you
What's
vote for Trump?
of course. I mean, I work in the petrochemical industry.
Yep.
There's no way there's no way that I could not vote for Trump with my livelihood if I got kids and whatnot. And he's releasing permits that people obviously we need for this industry to run. Couple reasons.
Okay, it's just better for crude oil production?
Well, not only that, but also LNG construction. So there's another whole other aspect to that. So you got crude oil and drilling, right? The whole drill, baby, drill, whatever. But also the construction permits for some of the nation's largest LNG facilities along the Gulf Coast, which are going to be supplying the European markets and bringing in a lot of money to the U.S. And these were on hold from the Biden administration. But I don't want to get into that. I'm not going to fault you. That's not something you know. But what I want to say is I've come up with a mother who we were on. We were considered low income, but she was still working, right? Child support from a Navy guy, not making a lot of money. And I have seen all kinds of misuse of government support. And my fear is that the current majority Democratic mindset is one that is going to, in long term, create governmental dependency, generational dependency on the government, not allowing people to earn what they need to earn without the support and the quote unquote handouts. I hate that word, because it is in taxpayer form. But my concern is that this generational government support will, in the long run, hurt us as a country. As you would imagine, taking an undomesticated animal, bringing it into a zoo, feeding it for years, and then trying to put it back out. You can't create an environment where your citizens have so much dependence on government, because that is very, very scary. I have a buddy. So my mother's from Peru. The banks nationalized in Peru back in the 80s. My grand
I have no clue what happened to him, man. If you're watching this live, I don't know what happened to you. You should hop back in the queue, man. I'll let you right back up here. I just don't know what happened to him. Please, no, dude. If you got disconnected, man, please hop back in the queue. Don't clue what happened there. While he is joining back, we're gonna move on to the next guest. So everyone, just kind of give us a minute, y'all. We're gonna go to get that next guest up in the box right now. We got St. Pauli loading in right now. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're watching and you want to support me, you can support me over on Venmo and PayPal on top of the phone screen right now on mobile. Of course, it's also in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream, and you could also support me over on YouTube Super Chat. What is up, St. Pauli? Did you vote for Trump?
W Din. Thank you. Have a nice day. Ciao.
I appreciate you for the love, man. Have a good one. We're going to move on. Everyone, just give us a minute. Charlie, thank you for the $1 on Venmo. Katie with the $1 as well. You guys are very kind. Very kind. You could also support me through the link tree in the bio. All right, moving on. Daniel Butchers loading up here. Probably about another 10 minutes here. We're going to try to get Jaded B up on the live. What about that? Here we go, everyone. Hello, Jaded.
Hi,
Did you-
sorry, I haven't done this before. And I know that you're debating Trump supporters, but this is really, really, really important. If you'd give me just a second of your time. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Well, I just wanted to bring up the website, The General Strike. It's something that people are doing in response to Trump and the issues with the government. It's based on like that a certain percentage of people, if they do like a collective strike and stuff, it can have a better effect of getting the government to listen to us, you know, when we have the situation with the Republicans in majority and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Well, I appreciate you
I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate that. The general strike, you guys, they need 10.1 thousand people, I think, for some like type of systemic change. Sorry, 10.1 million. Right now they have like 300,000 people committed. Just needs more and more people to commit. So it could be, it could be done. Thank you so much for bringing that up. We're going to move on to the next guest, everyone. Just give us a minute. What is going on? Joe, did you vote for Trump?
Hey, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm a Kamala.
Just looking for debate. Sorry. We only have like time for like one more debate, man. So I'm not going to be accepting any guests that didn't vote for Trump just because like we seriously only have like enough time for one more guess. Hey, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
No, man, but I'm from the UK. I'm just wondering if you could give me an insight as to what the hell.
I'm sorry, man. Watch the live. That'll be insight enough. Sydney, thank you for the $3 on Venmo. That is very kind of you, Sydney. Yeah, you'll get all the insight in the world if you just watch the live. All the insight in the world. All right, next guest is loading up right now. Hey, we got Amos Moose loading in. Doesn't look like he's connecting. Yeah, guys, may just end now. I'm really sick and tired of like not being able to find Trump supporters that easy. But I think I'm literally just getting tired because I've been on stream for like almost 5 hours. What is up, Diana? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay, why is your profile picture objectively not you?
It is me.
It's not. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute.
What's happening? Quick.
Hi, Aria. Did you vote for Trump? We can see Dean's fingers. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be where the guest pops up. All right, next guest, everyone. We're just trying to get that next guest up in here. Looking for the next debate. Lulu with the $5. Thank you. Hello, Just. Did you vote for Trump? Okay, not here. Peace. All right, guys. We'll like try like one more time. We're just gonna end for the day. Hey, did you vote for Trump?
I love you, Dean. I fucking love you. I love you.
Okay. I don't know, man. I feel like if you do really, oh, they just left. Okay, well, we'll try like one more time. Karen, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much for the love, Karen. That is very kind. Thank you, Karen. Everyone, show some love to Karen, please. That is seriously really kind. And then also Annie with the $20 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you, Karen. Annie. Karen and Annie. Annie says, was told today that the SS disability approvals were temporarily on hold. I'm not a zoo animal. I'm an American who will not survive without help. That dude sucked. Dude, what? That's crazy, Annie. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm going to look into that. If you put a pause on disability approval, that is so fucked. Thank you for the $20 and for bringing that to my attention. I'm so sorry to hear that. And then also Thom, thank you for the $25 donation over on Venmo. Thom says, I totally fanboyed on you on MSNBC. I said, I know him. Yeah, dude, that was fun. That was a whole lot of fun. The whole family was watching. My grandparents, I guess, had my uncle over. They were all watching it. That was cool. Thank you for the $25 donation, Thom. That's very kind of you. And then Tobias, thank you for the $5 on Venmo as well, saying, I'm telling you, I think they know that they're losing. I feel like it's been harder to get people to debate. I know. When we have like thousands and thousands and thousands of people in here, it should be really easy to find one Trump supporter, right? But it's so hard. Jake, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Skibbity.
Yeah, you're just hilarious, man.
Thank you.
I find you hilarious. I think that we're just gonna go in there for the day. Like, I don't really see any reason to continue to try. All right, guys. Sorry that like the trolls kind of ruined it, but is what it is. Apparently, somebody's saying I'm on Fox. Why am I on Fox News? Like, did I make the cut? Serenity, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Did I ever get the chance to talk to the immigration lawyer from about a week ago? No, I've still not scheduled something with Rolo. I do want to. I do really want to, because that'd be a very insightful conversation. Thank you for the $20, though, Serenity. Okay, I guess I'm on Fox. Debate Danny? Bro, who's Danny? Why is everybody telling me to debate Danny? And who is it? I could quickly scroll through the guest requests. See if there's anybody named Danny in there. No, there's... Okay, I'm looking at the queue. There's not one person in the guest requests that's named Danny. Not one. Not one human soul in the guest requests named Danny. Sorry, guys. Natalia, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate that. Oh, he's commenting? Who's this guy? I think I saw a comment from somebody named Danny. Let's invite him. Okay, I invited them. They're loading in. Who are you?
Oh, Dean, I'm gonna come, you nigger. I'm gonna come. Oh,
Great. Great, guys.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah. Sorry, chat. I'm off for the night. Mellis, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. I do really appreciate you for the love, Mellis. Thank you so much for the love, Mellis. Mellis says, as a trans POC, it's getting scarier seeing people who you debate either not know anything at all or be willfully ignorant. And the YouTube page crashed, bro. Shit is just not going in my way. It's back up. Or being willfully ignorant and completely apathetic. Lives are in danger. They just don't care. Yeah, man. They just don't give a shit. It's been much harder to find people to debate as of recently. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. And please stay safe. Please stay safe. I am going to go and get off of off of TikTok now, you guys. I appreciate everyone so much for pulling through. I'm going to be over on YouTube for like another 5 minutes of a video going live as soon as I pop off. So we're just going to rile up some support over there. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope that you have a good rest of your night. Peace and love. And yeah, head over to YouTube if you want a little bit more Dean content. All right, for everybody watching on YouTube, good to see you all. First and foremost, you should double tap away on that phone screen. Literally right now. Quite frankly. Oh no, wait, did I get another ban? Oh no, I got my comeback. So everybody, you should drop a like before you take off. It seriously really helps the performance of the YouTube stream once it ends. But I'm going to go ahead and check on my YouTube studio on my phone real quick, because I'm pretty sure that I have a video that's about to go live, and I'd really appreciate it if every single one of you guys could go from my live stream to this video. But let's just go ahead and check that out on the back end here on the studio. Today was a rough day, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I feel really tired. Very tired. Quite frankly. Okay, yep, it's a draft. MAGA supporters are out of their mind. Is the title. It's 21 minutes long. I haven't even watched this video. My team made it. I hope that they cooked. I have a feeling that they will. I feel like my team will cook. I trust them. Y'all got to tell me if the team cooked on this video, okay, chat? Fox News, did you switch teams? Please explain. Well, it's likely if I was on Fox News, it was probably like a reaction or something about something I'd said on MSNBC, but I doubt I was on Fox News. Hell yeah, trust the team. Yeah, I've kind of been like working with them on the last couple episodes, and I say that we've gotten to a good point. All right, let's go ahead and send this video. Let's get it live, man. Visibility, save, unlisted, public. Okay, everybody, I'm going to send this video. It's going to go live as soon as this stream ends. By the way, there's 2.8 thousand people watching with 1.6K likes. You should all like it. Maybe we could get up to 3,000. And then I'm going to end. And then when I end, go show some love to the new video. Love y'all. I hope that you have a good rest of your night. Go watch the video. It is published and the stream's over. Go show the video some love. Bye.